live chat. Give me that live chat. I don't want no dead chat. I don't want no zombie chat. I need them fresh and live. It's like lobsters. Gotta boil them live. Yeah, you don't want a dead lobster. You don't. I learned that from Ramsay himself. Chef Gordon Ramsay. You don't want no dead shellfish. No, that's bad. That's bad. That's you shouldn't eat that. Don't do that. Move, lobster. It's gonna move itself. Although I guess crabs are the same as well. You gotta keep those alive. It's kind of weird. Food's weird. Like, well, you know, you have to eat it while it's alive. You can't eat it after it's like been dead. But then you have to. It has to be dead to eat. Food's weird. Food's weird. Why are we built like this? Why have we been built like this, Thornians? The jellyfish, we're all the same. And they say jellyfish don't eat. And most don't, but I do. I do, you guys do. We've all taken the form of humans, which means that we too have to intake food. Like the humans do. That's what it means to take on a human form. It's probably the worst, honestly the worst part about it. Like, eating food for fun, fantastic, great. Eating food for consumption purposes, not fantastic, not fun at all. I will always stand by this. What is wrong? What? You want to... why do I always start this the second I start stream? He's like, hey, I see that you're busy. Can I possibly upset you by making lots of noise and like attacking things? The struggle meal is called for that reason. It's called that for a reason. Yeah. You can't go in there. See if that'll calm the beast. Let's see if that. I was gonna say that Japan doesn't really have as much of a struggle meal debacle, but that's wrong. that's very wrong. But it's usually not struggle meal in that like, oh, I don't want to make anything today, and I don't have the effort, or I don't have the energy. That did not solve our problem. I don't have the energy or effort to put in to making anything. I just don't simply make something really weird, because you can just go to the convenience store at any time of the day. You can just run to the convenience store and you can grab something. And there's food at all times. Good morning, everyone. Yeah, good morning. Good morning. Welcome in. Friends. Still feel pretty whole, but you can definitely tell it's made up of whatever. Yeah, but like, their struggle meals are for financial reasons usually. Like there's one I'm gonna talk about tomorrow that the CEO of CyberConnect 2 talked about in his book. Oh, that's the stuff. Yeah, I feel like it's a different kind of struggle meal. Those are different kind of. That's like legitimately struggling. That's like, you know, you can't. You actually deserve pity, as opposed to like the quote-unquote struggle meals, to where it's usually like girl dinner and girl just doesn't want to go shopping, or girl just doesn't want to actually make food. You can't go in there! I'm gonna close it. Just like whining at the... What is it? Even though never goes into the closet. Like, I don't know, maybe there's like a ghost in there. Maybe there's like a rat in there. Maybe they're trying to alert me to something that's there, but I have no idea. I don't know what's going on. What? You can't go in there. That's nothing new. But yeah, like I feel like even my struggle meals are not that bad. Even the ghost of a rat, that is possible. It can be, maybe it's that one field mouse. It's finally back to come and get me. Finally. Oh. Sorry if I look away from the screen. I'm trying to play with Agent Catfish so that she like calms down. I'm trying to work out her energy. Trying to de-energize her by having her run around and play with stuff. So I just got like, what is it, like those a bit like a fishing pole kind of toy? One of those. I got one of those. What's the mouse lore? So when I lived in the countryside, I moved into, like, it was surrounded on basically 3 sides by open fields that were owned by the multiple neighbors, and by neighbors I mean they lived far, far away. So it was basically overgrown farmland because all these people were old and they didn't really want to tend to the farmland anymore. And when I moved in, because I was a jet, so I just took it over from someone else. She was like, "There's a mouse in the house." I've tried multiple ways to get rid of it, and it just will not leave. And I was like, well, that's interesting. And it was like, I had plastic containers, or not containers, like plastic drawers that I would keep all like pantry stuff in. And like, I would open it up one day and just all of like the plastic bags that food would be in would just be like eaten away at. It's like, oh, that's a mouse. Just catching it. Apparently she tried everything. She did like the giant like trash can, and then you put a ruler on the top or something, and you put food on there so that when the mouse falls in, then it's like stuck in there because it can't jump out. Well, it jumped out, apparently. She tried everything. She wasn't a killer, so she didn't want to kill it. She wanted to catch it and release it. And so everything that she tried just was not working. And so then she just was like, I'm sorry, I tried. I really tried, but I couldn't get it. I was like, no, whatever. Whatever, if it happens. I did not have Agent Catfish at this time either, so I had no defense against a mouse. And then one day, I come home. I'm doing my normal thing. I'm back from work. It's probably like 4:35, depending on how far away my school was that day. I go to start up dinner. I think I possibly pasta. Maybe I was like frying up something. I go to grab an olive oil jar, and the top's off. I know that I put the top on. I'm like kind of freaked out. Okay, that's weird. And then I go to lift it up. But before I lift it up, you know what I see? That mouse drowned itself in my olive oil bottle. It could not stand the fact that the previous owner had left it, and it had to leave this world. It's like the single most disturbing thing that's happened to me. There's nothing quite like finding a mouse body inside of your olive oil bottle. There's nothing like it, really. But just like the fact that how did it open the bottle? This is strange. I don't understand. Like, I'm so sure. Like, who leaves olive oil bottles open? Nobody does that. So, how did it unscrew? It was a screw top. It wasn't a flip top either. It was a screw top. How did it unscrew? Like, it meticulously thought this out and jumped into the bottle after unscrewing it. I don't know how. So, like, maybe that mouse has come back. Maybe it's come back. I don't know why. I didn't do anything to it. I was not a part of its mind at all. And then just a bit of flavor. flavor lost in the sauce. Yeah, I just took the bottle. I think I took like a bag. I put a bag over it. I put a bag over the bottle, and then I just like took it outside to where the trash usually is picked up. Even though it wasn't trash day, it's like I'm not dealing with this. I'm not dealing with this. It was in like my first couple months there. So like here I am, freshly graduated from university. I've never like truly lived on my own. I've moved to a completely different country where I like barely know the language, and now there's a dead mouse in my olive oil. What is a jellyfish gal to do? No. Instead of extra virgin or cold pressed, you just mouse oil. That's all. Yeah! It's just a different variety, but it's not one that's very well known. I can't believe you had a ratatouille and he couldn't take it anymore. He wasn't helping me cook. That's the thing, though. If he was helping me cook, he would. I didn't mind if I wasn't even trying to capture him. I just like, it was always like right before I woke up, or like as I was like sitting in bed, I would just hear like crinkling over in the kitchen, and I'm like, well, there's the mouse. I really didn't have a problem with him. He didn't like leave any mouse droppings anywhere. Like he was a very polite mouse. I would have accepted him, but no. He couldn't do it. He missed his old buddy. The mouse rats, but they are actually quite smart. He's about to unlock his cooking abilities. He was basically playing The Sims, but rat version. That must have been it. Oh, should you calm down? You play enough, or you calm down? You wanna sit on my lap? Wanna be a lap cat? This is so hamburger. Oh my god, you're so quirky. Hello, welcome. Let's get some good dornies rolling. Ahem. Good dorning. So cool. Aki, good dorning. Tomasu, good dorning. G, good dorning. Commissar King, good dorning. Yeah, and then Kaishi, good dorning. And Tomodachi Life Rat. Are any of you guys playing Tomodachi Life? That's probably another. I don't know if I would Tomodachi Life or if I would still be on the Ditto game. I don't know if I would have gotten both. I probably would still be on the Ditto game most likely. I didn't even know about Tomodachi Life until I came onto the internet and onto like the Twitter side of the internet. And I noticed that like every time a Nintendo Live segment was going on, that there'd be all these people posting about Tomodachi Life. I'd never heard about it before then. It's like, what is this Tomodachi Life, and why do people always have like summoning circles for it? Mickey Mouse's secret sister. Honestly, I could see that. Glad to have more than one Haman on my island now. How many Hamans do you have? What are you doing? Are you just there? Like that? Where are you gonna go? You look so eepy. You look so eepy. Go to eep. Haman Ling Island? Is that what you actually called it? Is that what you actually call it? I've been seeing so many good posts about it. Like, there's people that are posting Gundam stuff. I've seen, like, oh wait, there's so much good stuff. Although, the thing that I find funny is people acting like, oh my god, I can't believe this exact situation happened, when, like, they input everything so that it would happen like that. It's like, what? Oh, Asian catfish? It's a little in the way, actually. Just like a little. Could you perhaps move to my lap? This is why I should be a lap cat instead of a desk cat. Yes. Mouse using a mouse? Live on stream? No, we don't have any mice today. We were talking about a mouse that passed away many years ago. We were thinking it could we could have its ghost, but I don't think that's it. I don't think its ghost is here. Will you stay here? Will you stay on my lap? Like my lap? My lap pretty cool. I'm gonna brush her over here. I'm gonna brush her. Good morning, Rachel. Welcome in. Are you on your way to work? Getting ready for work? Guys, I think she's gonna do it. I think she's gonna become a full-blown lap cat. Kidding stream. Maybe not the entirety of it, but that's it. She's gone full. She's gone lap cat. She's gone lap cat. We've done it, Nornians. Live grooming session of my cat. Of my cat. Everyone, it's of my cat, okay? Alright, there's a cat in my lap. You can't see her because she's a secret agent, but it's a live grooming session of my cat. Alright, that's very important distinction. You left out the important words. Grooming it? No, we can't do that because you guys are people too. But also, I'm not 18 plus, so there could be children in our midst. The clip won't have the cat content. No! I'll clip it myself. I wish YouTube clipping was much better. It's like they don't want you to take it. Like they won't let you download it. Why? Why won't they let you download it? Why can't they be like... They hate! YouTube hates live streams! Hate them. If you're a child and watching FMDM streams, there's a bigger fish to fry. But we're watching... It's the safe for work version, so they're just becoming enlightened. I mean, we say kids, but you gotta be at least like 13 to be on YouTube. I think I count my streams as not for kids, so it's gotta be at least 13 years old to watch Tsukimi be doing a stream. Yeah, no downloads things. And if you take the link that you get from a clip, and then you go to like a download site, it tries to download the whole vibe, which is annoying. Like at that point, I might as well just clip the VOD, like my own VOD that I have. Just go and cut that up. It feels easier. Just YouTube doesn't actually care about streaming. They really don't. If you're a kid and you're watching Muramasa, I'd applaud you for knowing ball. Right? Like, the story is gruesome. But, I mean, there's worse things you can experience as a kid. Remember, Dornians. I mean, I wasn't an adult, but I read, uncensored... Is it legal to say if I did it myself? I read uncensored Saya no Uta when I was freshman? Sophomore of high school? And look how I turned out! I'm only an anime girl on the web. I'm fine. I'm fine. And that wasn't even the internet either. I just got that from a friend. He's like, hey, you should read this. And then he handed me a disc. He burned a disc so that he could share it with friends. Really an age long gone. But yes, bye, Retro! You're probably gone already. Oh, am I too loud? Do not want to be a loud cat? The loud streamer? I'm sorry. She's gone. She's gone. Me playing Berserk on Dreamcast without knowing. Oh yeah, that's it. Man, I happened across many messed up things as a child. I think I was definitely in middle school when I watched the Berserk anime. And they have like one scene to where they like cut up her clothes. And then I read the manga for Battle Royale. And that has the side story has a whole part about one of the high school girls seducing an adult so that she can blackmail him for all of his money. And by seduce, I mean she uses her body. And they show it all. And they show the act. They show his thing is censored, but they actually show, like, you know, the hot dog going into the barn. Like, it's insane. But the funniest thing is that my parents bought me the Battle Royale manga, not knowing that it had this like extremely graphic sex scene in the back. My childhood was a good time, basically. Crazy euphemism. We gotta work around, okay? we gotta work around these things. And then like Suki's mom always used to watch Sex in the City. She would kick me out. I wasn't allowed to watch her. I like to be around when she watched it. But she watched like Sex in the City and 6 Feet Under. That's what she watched. She watched that. And those both have like a lot of sexy scenes. But again, look, I'm totally fine. I'm just an anime girl. Life could actually be worse, okay? So if there's any kids, any 13-year-olds that are like, hey, I'm finally gonna figure out what Muramasa is all about, don't worry. Don't worry, you're in good hands. You're in good hands! I've babysat before. I've got this under control. I only let one kid hit his head. I think I was 13 when I was allowed to babysit. That should not have been a thing. I was allowed to babysit like a toddler. And then he went down with his bicycle, like his tricycle, on a big hill. And then he toppled over and he started crying. And I was like, ah! What do I do? And so I picked him up and he was still crying. And this like older lady came by. And she was like, oh, did he bump his head? And I'm like, yeah! I for sure thought this child was just gonna like peace out from life. After bumping his head. Putting up in numbers. Got to keep those numbers up. Yeah, that was... I took a class. I took a class to babysit. I didn't have to. But I think I said I wanted to do something like that so that like I felt more capable. I wasn't allowed to babysit babies. People trusted me with their babies. Is that not insane? I remember there was this one baby, and every time I would squint my eyes, she would squint her eyes back at me. So like I definitely spent like a good amount of time just squinting at this child. Did the class teach you to treat head injuries? No, it taught me how to... It's honestly probably a class that like that parents should be taking, because it was like, this is how you change a diaper. This is like what to check, what to watch out for when kids are left to their own devices. They can stick their hand in sockets. They can reach these things. Like, how would we child-proof this room? They're probably still squinting to this day. How old is that kid? That's like one of those things to where it's like I don't want to see how old that kid is now, because that'll be the instant ager right there. Like I know the one kid who bumped his head. He actually ended up his parents, his grandparents, because that's how my mom knew. It's from his grandparents. His grandparents ended up buying my old car for him to drive. So that was a terrifying moment in my life when my mom told me that. She's like, "Oh yeah, do you remember so and so?" And I was like, "Yeah." And she was like, "Yeah, so he's gonna be driving your car now." And I was like, "Oh, what? What did? No, I don't know. What does that mean?" What do you mean? Yeah, I just like instantly aged like 30 years when she told me that. That's not allowed. Kids are allowed to get older. Right? They have to stay kids. Please, thank you. Alright, 30 minutes have passed. More than 30 minutes have passed. Did you start turning into dust? I did, just a little bit. Like, that's actually how you get wrinkles, is that you hear things that turn you to dust, and little by little your skin just like disappears into the wind, and those are the crevices. Those are the crevices that make up the wrinkles. Is all the it's you turning into dust every time you hear something that ages you. Let's see. Move you guys over here. We head over to this. Oh, I didn't press the button. Wait, if I press the button. Dun, 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 dun. And then I gotta get Dog Galaxy. Also, I realized today that I was kind of dumb. I didn't need to buy this game a second time. I'm just dumb. But you know, I also bought them I bought both of them on sale. So I basically just ended up paying for the full game. That's what I did. That's what I did. Yeah! We love supporting, especially visual novels, right? Like, visual novels. We are a small but proud community of visual novel enjoyers. But yeah, I was like, wait, if I got a DRM version, DRM-free version of Muramasa from GOG, I could have just moved that. I could have, like, put a copy on my laptop and then added the patch that way. Because there is a patch for the GOG version, but oh well. I just bought the full uncensored version from Jast as well. So I got the GOGgy version, I got the Jasty version. But again, they were both on sale. If I'd paid full price for one of them, I probably would have been mad at myself more. But I bought both of them basically half off, so money was not wasted in that sense. Get that rolling. Because I know I had to do, I think I was just, my mind was so used to, what's the other game that we played? Like, Alpha 6.2s, Beta 6.2s, whichever one that was. We had to buy 2 versions for that game. Because, there was no DRM-free version at the time. Can we see in here? Alpha Nighthawk Beta 6.2s. There we go. There we go. We did it for Beta 6.2s because we didn't know about Alpha Nighthawk. We see we're here. Yay! Let's wait for them to catch up. Oh. Okay, yeah, it is. Continue over there and continue here. So, last time, Yeah. I was just buying 2 for the love balance. Yeah. The last time on Full Metal Demon Muramasa, our quote-unquote main character kind of went crazy and lost his head. Yeah, he lost his head over the events. He was looking up to the future. He had finally figured out where he was going to go in life, and then he just lost his head. He got ahead of himself. He wanted to be a real hero. And then this guy, John Muramasa, shows up and just zoop, shloop, right off. And then we stopped immediately after that. And there's the whole thing that happened before the slicing and dicing. We discovered everything. The true evil. We got to see some sick fighting. Always good. It's pretty amusing how hard they tried to make you think. Wait, what? That was 3 streams! Like, I understand that we go slow because I read everything out loud, but 3 streams with that child! And this mofo comes and just slices his head off! Mr. Minato Kageyaki, I would like my stream time back. Please. Thank you. What have you done? Now we have a decapitated child, we have a blind child, and we have a quadriplegic child. What are you going to do about this? Why did you take so long to show up? Anyways. Minato Kageyaki. You are under arrest for the murder of Suzukawa Nobu and Nita Yuhi. Well done. You're under arrest for doing good. If that's not murder bad. October 12th, 41st year of Koryu. Period. But the most annoying character novel only has 2 minutes of screen time so far. Kazu! He was cut from the same cloth as Daijuji Kudo. Minato Kageyaki is remanded to the custody of Kanto District Jail. I like the sounds. Charges. Murder. 13 counts. Does it just keep increasing? Parricide? Wait. Does anybody want to give me the definition of parricide real quick? I thought I was gonna say patricide, but no, that's different. What's parricide? Parricide? Don't drop the soap. During this period in time, I don't even know if they would give people that are jailed parent or relative. Okay, all right. That wasn't too far off with patricide. 1 count. So which relative? This is true. True. There is no place for heroes here. That's why our main character was. I can't believe we don't have a. Say it was chapter 1. Everybody telling me it was a prologue. Oh. Oh. Oh, it's so great. Oh, music! We're gonna get music on YouTube! Oh, there it is. I believe I don't get like absolutely destroyed. Oh, cutie! Yalani! First time! Guys, This is a good song. Thank you, Moira. Man, they just go so hard for the animations. Like 3D and 2D, it's too powerful. Are we still live? Did YouTube snipe us? We alive? Oh, good. Good, very good. This is the same guy who did the first intro for... What do you mean first? What do you mean? There's one intro. Da 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 da. What's going on, Naruto? Do you guys know that when I first started watching Hunter x Hunter 2012, I was like, I'm not like a super huge fan of this opening, but that's okay. I'll just like, I legitimately thought this. I might have even said it out loud. I'm like, but it'll be fine because it's only the first opening. You just gotta wait until the next one. Little did Tsukimi of that time know. You would never forget it. You would never forget something. I like it now. It was Stockholm syndrome into me. Oh, she's still looking good. I'll never grow to like guns. There's too much smoke and you don't get the right feedback from the kill. Oh. Literally slaying right now. Oh, but mistress, clearly there is no feedback from a ranged weapon. But there is. That feeling you get the instant your shot tears through warm flesh, like a broken organ's melody coursing up your spine. Are you certain that's not just sadistically? Oh. Thornians? Yeah, she's all yours. When you put it that way, I sound like some kind of freak. You're terrible, Sayo. Anyone who can kill a fellow human being is indeed a freak, most heinous mistress. Wait. Is he who we're going after? What is the meaning of this? Exactly what it looks like. Captain Nagasaka. The Roku Nana, perfect. Prefect for this village. Captain Nagasaka. As the GHQ inspector assigned to this area, it is my responsibility to address the inappropriate behavior of your Yamato soldiers. Chase the British people! That kind of makes sense. She is wearing a lot of foreigner clothing. She was wearing a pretty foreigner dress before. It all mixed. She's a Brit. Did my men offend you in some way? Oh, should I give her a bad British accent, Should she be this game's beauty, but she doesn't have a high-pitched voice? I witnessed them drafting villagers into forced labor, forcing them to exhaustion, and then executing those who collapsed. Hardly conduct befitting a man in uniform, no? It's not your place to decide that. Nokunana was promised sovereignty in Yamato. Yes, but under GHQ's supervision. I was preparing for a super cockney. I didn't know if I wanted to stick to. I can't really do cockney as a thing. Like I really got my one British accent and that's about it. I already have approval for my mining project. Everything should be in order. Wait. I can't do it. She's too precious. But that's just paper on some bureaucrat's desk. My job is to ascertain the reality of your operation, and it's well within my authority to address any problem that I find. Nonsense! If I might offer my personal opinion, perhaps you should have been more generous in your gifts to Civil Affairs Bureau. I've given Colonel Cobden everything he asked for, filled his belly, wallet, and his bed. Now he wants more? Is that true? It is! 1/10 of my budget for this operation is going straight into his pocket. What, you weren't told? He promised to see that everything went smoothly. How astonishing. Yeah, she doesn't seem like she do her cockney accent. How astonishing! Did you hear that, sire? I do believe we've stumbled upon evidence of serious corruption on our ranks. A most dramatic turn of events, mistress. Yeah, this is Big Booba, deep voiced Nudie, and Sebastian. But now the Sebastian is the small one, and the Nudie is the tall one. Yeah. I see what you've done, Nitro. Are you mocking me? That wasn't my intention, sire. Speaking objectively, mistress, we have been mocking the captain rather mercilessly. Oh, we have. My apologies, Captain. I'm so dull when it comes to these things. What do you want? Pardon? Pardon? Your demands, what are they? Money? A share in the mines? Then stop wasting time trying to rattle me and say so. I'm willing to bargain. Your life. How troublesome, sire. He doesn't seem to understand me at all. I quite agree, mistress. Perhaps a nice big hole might help. Your words enter the good captain's thick skull. These two are good. I suppose that's only fair. In the interest of consensus, then. Please go to your grave. The villagers have dug such a fine tunnel for you. It would be a shame not to put it to good use. Damn you, girl! The instant the prefect, perhaps soon to be ex-prefect, dons its tsurugi and attacks the two women, the old man knows that he must act. He also knows that he will not make it in time. Stopping that fool in his responsibility is his responsibility, for he alone knows the reason for his foolishness. He needs to settle it himself, to end it without another drop of innocent blood spilt. If only he could have stopped the prefect before his madness swallowed the village. 2 worthless old men would have died, and that would have been the end of it. But fate is not so kind. Yeah, the rifle was good. They have so many sprites in this. Time has taken its toll on him. His preparation took longer, far longer than he anticipated, and so he has been forced to watch helplessly as the bodies pile even higher. And now a new body will be added to the stack. The young inspector, the first person to take a stand against the prefect, will die. Her methods were certainly not beyond reproach, but that does not change the fact that she acted to save the village. Yet with her death, the village's fate may— Wait, with her death? No! I refuse. We haven't gotten to woo her yet. I refuse this logic. The villager's fate may well be sealed. The old man is hardly versed in the affairs of the outside world, but he is aware that his country was defeated in war and is now occupied by a foreign power. To the member of the occupying army meet an untimely end in this village. While the woman is clearly of Yamatoan stock, her uniform marks her just as clearly as an officer of GHQ. There's no reason to believe that her superiors will not blame the local population for her death. So, like, is it... Did they give her squinty eyes specifically because they're like, well, she is working with the foreigners, but we gotta make sure that it's an obvious thing that she's Japanese. Like, what? What do you mean, obviously? What is obvious about her being Japanese? Where is it? Where is it? Does she get the fox eyes because she is Japanese and she must be shown to be Japanese? It's always like foxy characters, but then it's like gathering, it's harnessing the fox, like the Japanese fox spirit. Her nationality is anime. It's Brock. It's Brock from Pokemon. The prefect must be stopped here and now, and the old man is the one who must stop him. And yet, looking back, he's a life full of regrets. Must he now add one more to the tally here at the end of his days? Oh, the dragoon charges, his feet gouging deep craters in the earth. His armor is Kazuuchi, not worthy of being called a Tsurugi. But its power and speed far surpass a mere human's. All the same, simply tracking its movement is impossible, to say nothing of resisting its strike. Stop him, the old man prays. Once, just once, turn his blade. Do for me what I cannot. I will handle the rest. I will finish this by my own hand. Prayers are in vain, he knows. There is no one to answer them. Things were not always so. What are we even reading about? Who is this old man? The closed-eyed fox character archetype thing, yeah. But I'm wondering if part of the reason they gave her that archetype is because it is like insanely Japanese. But they still wanted to make her like, she's got pink hair. We've had like black hair, brown hair. I guess that girl had like sort of reddish hair. Maybe pink hair isn't so great. Once there were those who used their might to protect the weak and powerless. For that, at least, was when men believed, where there were still examples enough to admire. But not anymore. The people have lost their faith. Now, when men speak of Musha, it is only with loathing, never hope. The old man's prayers do not reach. If they did, they would go unanswered. There are... No. Well, that's not an old man. Something crimson fills his sight, as though to blot out clear blue sky. A spray of blood, perhaps? Enter! Muramasa. No. has a massive armor, gleaming blade, force of presence to rouse men's hearts. It is mighty in humanoid form, or might in humanoid form, a god descended from the heavens, or perhaps a demon crawled up from the pits of hell. What is it, the thing standing before him? To enter John? It cannot be! He is the Quizox Hatterax! Impossible! Unmistakable!
Grandpa, what's that?
He knows the answer to his granddaughter's question. He knows what it is that has come like a miracle. He knows it in his heart. No, in his blood. The blood of Smiths is speaking to him, telling him the nature of the Crimson Giant. It is invincible. A true Tsurugi. A true Musha. Yeah, that's a good image. I probably should have taken a picture! Chapter 2. The Promised! No, surely, Dornians, surely we're gonna get another image of cute lady. Surely. I shan't. Yeah, I was just so blown away that I kept going. Evil Tsukimi. No! No, I don't. We're gonna get a picture of a cute girl. Trust me. Trust me. Trust me. This time, events proceeded at a breakneck pace. It didn't start out that way, however. Immediately after Muramasa appeared outside my cell, with news of Ginseigo's whereabouts, I contacted the Kamakura police commissioner who made the necessary arrangements. I left the jail not as a prisoner, but as a deputy officer Minato Kageyaki. Alright, so we are now John Muramasa. Also, aka Minato Kageyaki, the Kageyakster himself. Muramasa led me to a small village, not far from Kamakura. I'd gone through the same process several times already, all perfectly ordinary. In the 30 minutes that passed after reaching the village, however, I made more progress than any previous investigation had seen in 3 days. I can only assume that this village is enclosed in some sort of bubble where time moves faster. Disturbed by the tense atmosphere surrounding, shrouding what by all accounts should have been a sleepy little hamlet, I questioned a farmer and learned that a GHQ inspector was present. It seemed as good a lead as any, so I traced the inspector's movement to a half-completed mine on the outskirts of the village, where the first thing I saw was 2 Nokunana soldiers, moments away from executing a miner who had clearly succumbed to exhaustion. Before I could do anything, stop them, 2 gunshots rang out in the din of the crowd, and the soldiers collapsed, dead where they stood. I looked in the direction from which these shots had come, and there saw a Yamatoan woman in GHQ uniform blowing smoke from the barrel of her rifle. Yeah, just like... like, oh, of course she's Yamatoan. A man who appeared to be the Nokunana officer in charge then engaged the woman in a heated discussion, which came to an abrupt end when he donned his tsurugi and fell upon her in a fit of rage. At that moment, Muramasa's Kin Chojo erupted inside my brain. Ginseigo's signature detected. That tsurugi is carrying an egg. 4 eggs? Oh my god, it's the sun! This is such a great song. Alright, just in case. I know we're definitely gonna get a picture of a cute girl, but just in case we don't. I've got this on back. The woman's long hair streams behind her, whipped by the gust of wind preceding the dragoon's sword. The fraction of a second, that blade will carve her and the elderly companion up like a deranged surgeon's scalpel. The time remaining is so little as to be practically non-existent. Okay, so the old man was probably the passed out, like exhausted person who was about to be executed. That answers that. I was like, where did this old person come from? Why is there someone else? But that makes sense. Which is to say more than enough. In less time than it takes for a drill to punch through a sheet of rice paper, I interpose myself between the dragoon and his target and strike his malice aside.
Yeah!
No one cries out in surprise. Two women, still alive, thankfully, are unlikely to have registered my movements with their unaugmented senses, and the dragoon likely still believes that his sword has avenged his honor rather than plow harmlessly into the ground. It will take them a moment more to catch up with reality. I step in with my left leg, determined to wrest even the brief instant from the enemy's grasp. The entire weight of my armored body gathers at the sole of my foot, driving it deep into the hard crust of the mountain. My lower body grips the ground like an iron stake. With that as my axis, I turn perpendicular to the Rokunana Musha and drive my elbow into his chest.
Hiya!
The force of my blow sends the armored Musha flying. He bounces off the ground twice, like a stone skipping across a pond, then comes to rest 10 meters away, where he finally realizes what has happened.
What?
The impact does not appear to have jarred him. He leaps up one smooth motion and stands on steady feet. I hardly expected to defeat a Musha with a single elbow strike. Even so, the speed of his recovery is astonishing. The fruit of rigorous training, no doubt. A Musha? What unit are you with? Your mom? I feel his gaze scan my collar plate, searching for the rank insignia on a shogunate soldier would have there. Needless to say, I do not. Whoever you are, get out of my way! This villager is under my jurisdiction. No Musha has the right to interfere. Well, I'm no Musha. I am the Musha! The Musha to Musha, all Mushas. You have a complaint. Take it up with the General Yusadoshin. Not possible. I will take your life here and now. Treason, is it? Negative. My actions do not qualify as treason under military law. I am not part of Rokunana's chain of command. What? A few seconds of silence follow while the man considers the implications of a Musha outside Rokunana's control. Then who are you with? GHQ, I suppose. Are you a traitor to your country like the woman behind you? I hold no affiliation. This is not intended as a lie. My status as a deputy police officer is for convenience sake only and has no official standing. Moreover, I am hardly worthy to name myself as an officer of the law. Rather, I am quite the opposite. He's not a hero. And again, police officers aren't heroes. You could say that killing you is simply my job. Your job? Huh. The Musha scoffs at this. So someone hired you. Did they? Who? How much is my head worth? No. My words seem to have misled them. I have no client, and I take no payment. You're not a professional killer? You could consider it a non-profit, a non-profit venture. A work only for myself. Then I can practically see the veins bulging on his forehead, even though even though the thick helmet, through the thick helmet, man. Yes, I don't think I'm ever gonna actually be good at reading out loud. The enraged dragoon advances a single step. You're nothing but a common murderer, fool! Steps forward once more, this time leading into an attack. The sword slashes down like a guillotine blade. Even though I was prepared for the strike, its speed and strength afford me precious little time to evade. I push off with my right foot, hopping backwards and turning my body to the side. No, I'm trying to. He's so silly. He's so whimsical. He has a point. I concede silently as the blade passes millimeters from my armor. That's how I'll introduce myself in the future. A murderous fool. My backstep takes me several paces away, and there I face off with the dragoon anew. His blade undisturbed by the failed attack, he immediately reseats his weapon and prepares for a second charge. Still, I hear frustration in his next words. Young people these days are good for naught but mocking their elders. It seems pathetic in my day we had more grit. I can but apologize. Though mockery wasn't my intent. Oh, refrain from arguing. They say that criticizing one's juniors has been common across cultures throughout history. He's so polite, Mr. Kageyaki. Really? There's a 4,000-year-old Egyptian wall painting that simply says, "Kids these days." Wait, do we have a fact check on this? Is this true? Were the Egyptians really, were they hip and with it at the time? Wow. The distance between us is about 5 or 6 meters. I can't shake a feeling of discomfort at facing another Musha at such close range. Most battles between Musha take place in the sky. During aerial combat, it is extremely rare for an opponent to be so close for so long. He likely feels the same, I predict, as I examine my enemy in detail. Its Tsurugi is Kazuuchi, the Type 88 that is standard issue for Navy Dragoons. As is customary for higher-ranking officers, he has removed a 7.7mm machine gun. She's from Greece, basically saying books and the younger generations lack respect and will be the downfall of society. And yes, it is true, man. So really, society never changed. Well, it does, but its root chords of these darn children has never changed. And yet we've somehow kept getting slightly better. Like, slightly better. Wait, did I read that? No, okay, I did not. The naval officer should have even less experience fighting on solid ground than an army Musha would. His slight shifts in weight are likely as much to allay his unease as they are to gauge timing. In which case, let's take the initiative and get above him. No. Same course of action just occurred to me too, but I reject it with a quick shake of a head. In Musha combat, it is, of course, greatly advantageous to be first in the air. However, we'll wait for him to fly. Fly? We live in a decaying age. That's how it should be said. That's absolutely how it should be said. If we take to the air now, you won't be the only thing left behind. He's thinking about the people. Muramasa falls silent. He seems to have caught my implication. Switching to flight mode greatly increases Amusha's speed and allows him to take full advantage of his Tsurugi's abilities. The trade-off, however, is that Amusha in the air cannot move with the same precision as Amusha on the ground. They would have loved Skibbity Toilet. What was I watching? No. Someone was playing the Peanut Butter Jelly Time song, and it's it was in a stream. So the Peanut Butter Jelly song started playing, and then someone in the chat was like, you know what? Skibbity Toilet ain't that bad. It's peanut butter jelly time. Peanut butter jelly time. I take to the air, and the enemy follows immediately. All well and good, but I cannot discount the possibility he may stay behind to deal with his original target first. In that case, I doubt that I would be able to deflect his strike a second time. Brain rot is not destroyed, merely transferred. It's also evolved. It's evolved along with us. I have no choice but to wait for my opponent to make the first move. I wait and wait. The dragoon doesn't fly. Maybe he can't. Maybe he doesn't know how. He stays grounded. His gatari cold and silent. His feet, though somewhat unsure, are clearly awaiting the moment to kick off, but not into the air. They remain rooted on soil. Has he mistaken my refusal to fly for a trap, or has he read that far ahead? I didn't read that out of the way. Type 88 is an antiquated design, with an emphasis on power and durability. Its speed and agility are merely average. Even if one takes to the high ground first, it is unlikely to keep it for long. This is not always the case, of course, but there's no denying the Type 88 is obsolete. It is currently being phased out in favor of a more agile Type 94. We've got... This is... I'm surprised. Well, they're probably... I mean, we do have Shoko Aki in chat, so... But, I don't know, I feel like there would be more, like, mecha heads here that would just collect all of the information about the different types. The Kuzu Uchi and the Shin Uchi. Like, there's so much terminology here that just seems ripe for autism. If he takes the obvious advantage and flies, he will almost certainly lose. Better to seek victory on the ground. Is that the conclusion he reached? If so, then his opponent is fearsomely clever. Doubtless the veteran of many battles. There's a glossary of all of them and menus as well as this. Yeah, it comes with, there's like a manual, and then there's also the glossary that comes with the game when you buy it. Both on Jast and GOG. Which is nice. I mustn't give him time. Time always favors the warrior with more experience and more cards to play. The other must strike quickly before he has a chance to develop a plan. So be it. By your leave. Mighty! She's in Mighty. Mighty! I kick off with my right, lowering my head and bending forward until I can nearly taste the dirt. I hug the ground like an insect, my eyes fixed on the enemy's boots. His towering form blots out the sun. At that moment, I spring up with a rising slash. dragoon's sword is already there to meet me, slashing down from high above to split my skull in two. As expected. I pull my arms back, turning my rising slash into a lifting sweep. The dragoon's sword meets it with a thunderous crash. Then is knocked aside. His strike merely grazes my shoulder, as the enemy's side is laid bare. Yoshino Onryu Kassen Reiho Taiga! Tagai. Almost got it. Trick the enemy into striking at your head, then deflect his blade and exploit the opening. A turn of my wrist, and then my sword will cleave into his unprotected abdomen. Uh-oh. There goes my... A decent show, but not enough. Rather than lay the enemy's belly open, my sword has been stopped by his own. His reaction was too fast. No level of reflex or skill should allow a man to recover from a failed strike this quickly. Not if he was committed to it. Even for a Musha, it is unthinkable. Which can only mean he was a step ahead? So it would seem. I replay the last exchange in my head. While this strike itself was sharp and swift, the impact preceding his sword's deflection did seem strangely light. Kageyaki, please, we need more diagrams! Thanks for joining! Welcome in! You're just in time for a fight. We're starting things off with a bang. Or slice, I guess? Did he see through my ploy and relax his arm to prepare for the rapid alteration of my strike's trajectory? That would explain it. Have you, sir? During the war, I spent 2 years in the Philippine jungles with a Murata rifle. Philippines mentioned. Philippines mentioned. Look at it. Oh my god, point at it. Wow. Wowie, wowie! Sweet lunch break with a mecha battle, and it's Friday. Oh, that sounds like it. What do you got for lunch? What are you eating over there? I had yummy chicken for most of this week. They sell such a good chicken at the store. It's like it's not cooked yet, so you have to cook it yourself. But it's like just pop them in the air fryer. What is it? They're like herb. Crunchiness, goodness. I spent 6 times out on the front lines. I was polishing my technique on the continent while you were still in diapers. You would do well not to underestimate me, whelp. Understood. I will take care in the future. Our swords locked. Our locked swords squealed in protest, shedding bright silver flakes as folded steel shaves away beneath the stress. Pressure against my sword is unbelievable. I can hear the bones in my arms creaking as I fight to push my enemy back. Power cannot be explained by the Type 88 specs alone. The pilot's own strength must be Herculean. No, that can't be all. There's something else at work here. You said Ginseigo was here! He's clearly doing something funny. A question. What is it? Do you know Ginseigo? I gauge his reaction, though his expression is hidden beneath the helmet. At this range, it is easy to sense an enemy's emotions. Behind. Ginseigo. That angel of slaughter everyone's talking about. A fine example of a rumor growing late, if you ask me. There's a lady that has escaped from my blankies. It's very cold. Probably could turn on my heater. It's like actually. And I keep thinking that, and then it ends up being not cold enough to sustain the heater on. What about it? My question was pointless. The man's voice bears no trace of deceit. He has an A, It knows nothing about it or its origins. This is not without precedent, however. It probably saw no need to appear before him. It's just like handing out all the eggs. It's pretty it's pretty sussy to just be handing out eggs like that. Holy. In which case, the train of thought is merely a distraction. I abandon it and concentrate on defeating my opponent. Prospect that is proving more difficult than I hoped. I should have the advantage in a contest of strength. Muramasa possesses sufficient power to wield effortlessly its massive Nodatsu, currently missing. Yet I am finding it difficult to overpower this enemy. The struggle continues, with the advantage shifting back and forth every second. This isn't working. It's taking too long. But you can't retreat, Mido. Mido! What a cute nickname. I'm aware. I'm gonna have to get a different voice for him. There's no way I can continue doing that voice for him. Well, he's gotta be fitting. He's got to. He has to live up to his Darkling name. We can't just give him like a normal voice. If I pull back, I'm dead. Or I could even think about doing something fancy, like leaping back and striking you in motion. Enemy will power through my defenses and claim my life. Of course, the same is true for the enemy. At the moment, neither of us has the option of retreat. There is no choice but to advance, planting my feet and pushing with all of my strength. I expect his sword to return the favor, echoing my strength, like a shout in the cathedral. He's one step ahead of you, man. However, my blade meets no resistance, and instead pushes through the enemy guard. He pulled back. I have him. This is what the Philippines does to a mofo! Being strong. I'd believe it. Yeah, I was thrown into a Philippines jungle. Like, oh my, and you survived? Yeah, you would probably come out pretty crazy. For an instant, I am dumbfounded by the stroke of luck. Really? Man, he is new at this. It proves an instant too long. Something slices into the space between my arms like a striking snake. The hilt of the dragoon's sword. With only his right hand on the hilt, he thrusts it smoothly into the opening, and then his left hand returns to take the grip from beneath it. Arm and arm, sword and sword, joined like two. I don't know why, but I read that it's two dads, and I was really confused. Joined like two hooks. What does this mean? What does this shape portend? Nothing too fancy, but techniques like this can prove useful on occasion. The dragoon turns his sword, catching my arm against the hilt, then twists. An arm lock. Arm lock by sword? My wrist and elbow cry out in pain, sending jolts of lightning straight up my spine. Muramasa's armor is powerless against this attack. I can feel muscles wrapping, warping, and bones bending. My arms are moments away from breaking. There's no choice. I let go of the sword and leap to the rear. The result is exactly as expected. So, what is that? What are they making me say? This feels like when people are like, "Hey, streamer, can you say this word?" What are they making me say? So you run. What if these are bad words? What if they're bad words? What if they say to me that? Not about to waste the opportunity, the Noku Nanamusha instantly steps in to retake the distance I gain. At the same time, he forces his blade towards my neck. And then 2 or 3 year Philippines and just forget about it. I barely managed to seize his arms in time, but the effort cost me my balance. Ah! His eyes look down, burning with triumph. I grit my teeth and match his stare. Also, I'm noticing, for some reason, UI on the machine is orange right now, but when we were flying, it was green. Don't know why. He has me in the mount position. His whole weight bearing down on his sword. He's aiming for the base of my neck, the gap where the helmet meets the shoulder plate.
Am I? Naive.
I push back against his arms. His position affords him too great an advantage. Well, maybe now you'll answer my question instead of giving me lip. I'll ask you one more time. Who are you? As I said before, someone who wishes to take your life. Why? Because my needs demand it. He's not very helpful. I see. I feel the ice cold sensation of his blade slicing through skin. Looks like it'll take drastic measures to cure you of your stupidity. Which will give out first, your courage or your strength? Let's see, shall we? Takeyaki's not too good at this fighting thing. He only won the last match because the guy didn't know how to fight. That's clearly it. Only a millimeter or two of steel has entered my flesh so far, but the terrible cold of it is quickly spreading through my body. It'll be frozen solid by the time it reaches depth. Reaches 1 centimeter. I'm unlikely to feel it by then, however. Survival will be difficult with a centimeter deep gash in my throat. Identified a flaw in this plan. Which is? I can't answer his question like this. Here, let's hope he realizes it before you die. Well, are you going to bet on his intelligence and keep lying? Here, like a fish on a block?
No, darn it.
Let's not. He who assumes others foolish is a half-wit. He who bets on another's wisdom is a buffoon. Spin up your coins. Escape with Shinobi. From here? Are you crazy? Not that I'm aware. Obey, Muramasa. There is no time for discussion. Understood. I exhale long and slow, forcing down the anxiety that comes with hostile steel at my throat. Breathing too hard, and his blade could end up my life. That is how close I am to death. As my breath expires, I relax my arms. The strength of my arms is the only thing holding back the enemy's sword, the last bulwark of a falling fortress, and now I abandon it without the slightest hesitation. Sweet temptation and black terror threaten to reduce my brain to jelly. Me! I am a tightrope walker, balancing on one foot above a bottomless pit. I suppose Muramasa can't be blamed for doubting my sanity. My soft neck is now defenseless. Even a child could slay me with little trouble. Musha, however, hesitates precisely the reaction I expected from a veteran. He knows too much of war to leap hungrily upon every piece of meat tossed before his eyes. I'm granted a split second in which to act. Should I fail to do so, then I deserve to die. I inhale sharp and fast. I don't need much air. Half a liter will do. I swallow the oxygen, pressing it down into the pits of my stomach, where it churns and grows in intensity. I seize it, bind it, and mold it to my will. A small storm of power struggle to break free, but I keep it pinned. Struggles to break free, but I keep it pinned even as I coax it into a frenzy. It howls and expands, seeking more power, but I keep tight rein on its fury. The storm becomes a typhoon, and the typhoon a hurricane. They are different, but they're basically the same thing. As far as I'm sure? I think the only difference between a typhoon and a hurricane is like the water it starts over or something like that. I think. I think. I think. As the torrent of power threatens to snap its chain and consume me, I impose upon it my final command. I direct a single strand that has escaped its prison into my arms, and from there, into the army of my enemy. Yin.
Yo.
Yang. I let go of the reins, setting the power free at last. It roars in ecstasy as it courses through my body, raging and gloating. It bursts from every pore. Its imprisonment is over. Freedom! Oh, he said that perfectly. I part the flows. The Rokunanamusha is blasted off me, clearing several meters in the blink of an eye. To an observer, it would appear as though the supine Muramasa sent the dragon flying with a single kick. An utterly ridiculous scene, considering the weight of the dragoon and his position. There should be no way for such a thing to occur. This madness is the product of Muramasa's shinobi. First, I placed a magnetic charge on the enemy armor, then kicked him in the chest with a leg carrying the identical, therefore repulsive charge. Oh. Does the Rokunan officer understand what happened? Unfortunately, I have no time to ask. I'm aware that my attack has not damaged the enemy significantly. In order to claim victory, I must exploit his moment of vulnerability. Muramasa's electromagnetic field won't last forever. Shinogi is meant to be used in short spurts. Maintaining it for longer than a second puts a severe burden on my caloric reserves. You could die! Explanation? Yeah! I like it. It makes sense. Like, I too have had magnets, and then I just play with them to I put the life sides together, and I just keep pushing the other one. So it's really easy to like envision it. Once distilled, however, it requires the entire breathing cycle to restore. I could take this time to regroup, but even then, I would still be at a disadvantage. The wound on my neck is not shallow, blood is leaking out even now, and with it the body heat I need to operate Muramasa. This moment is my only chance for victory. I charge? The dragoon is already starting to rise. He is undamaged, as I thought. My kick only sent him tumbling. I step in before he can fully right himself. There's no time to recover my sword, so I strike with the only weapon available. My body! Touch my body. That's the only part I know of that song. Once again, the Type 88 goes flying, soaring into the air like a puppy struck by a speeding car! No! And yet the enemy still maintains his grip on the sword. He must have been prepared for the second impact. Not the puppy. Not the puppy. I've dealt no damage, nor have I succeeded in disarming my opponent. My heat levels are at their limit, forcing me to dispel the magnetic field. If I attempt to erect it again, I'll most certainly succumb to freeze. Cold is quickly stealing through my body. My fingertips are growing numb. My attempt to reverse the situation ends here. The enemy undamaged, and myself on the brink of losing function. All that's left is the conclusion. Fido! Aye. Yeah, why is it orange now? I know, because I made the thumbnail for last week, and I utilized the green from the interface. With the last of my strength, I kick off into the air. The conclusion is mine to write. He's orange to magical. Oh, how nice of him. He does have blue all over, so that, yeah. He's got the little ball down there. Whelp! It's a good word. Rokunana's warrior's cry of rage and dismay echoes across the sky. Oh, that's right! right! That's right, we were in Muramasa last week. You're so right. That's why it's different. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, we were in a completely different, This was, Dragoon, I think? I think his was a Dragoon. No, wait, no, because he was made from... He was a good one, no, so he was actually, he was a... Actual, Tsurugi. The thumbnail looked really good. Yeah, I had fun making that. My attempt has succeeded. My attempt has succeeded. The situation is reversed. The enemy... But even as the enemy ignites his engine, he knows that he has lost. The Dragoon chose not to fly because he knew that I would be victorious in an aerial confrontation. Yeah, well, you think you've had, like, the upper hand in a lot of this battle, and that wasn't the case. In which case, all I had to do was force him into the air. Getting my last remaining energy into the Gatari. At my back, I soar into the air and climb for altitude. Oh, that was cool. Oh, these scenes are so cool. The enemy does the same. I'm far faster. I take the high ground, turn and die. Type 88 has, in fact, not even begun to climb. Looks like he's having trouble acquiring stability after the unexpected toss into the sky. He's a sitting duck primed for slaughter. I still have no sword. My fist will have to suffice. Narrows it down to one viable target. I take the enemy's back and drive my fist into the armor of his waist. The Musha spirals out of control and does not regain it. The armor around the waist is where Tsurugi's wings, or horo. More terms! Everybody write this down, it'll be on the test. Horo! Are attached. Without them, the roaring of one's gatari is nothing but noise. My punch has destroyed more than half of the Dragoon's horo. But the remaining horo still serves some function. The Musha glides, more than plummets from the sky, vanishing into the forest below too quickly for a perfect landing, but too slowly to be called a crash. He won't die from that. I have to find him and finish him. Locate the enemy, Muramasa. We're pursuing. We can't! What? Their reserves are at their limit. Even flying is dangerous. Combat is out of the question. It's like, oh man. Taking stock of my condition, I realize that I am indeed in no shape to fight. The numbness of my fingers is nearing total paralysis, and the cold filling my body has grown to match. Hey, me too, I'm cold. As long as I maintain flight, my condition will continue to decay. I have no choice to withdraw. So I failed to finish him. It's not your fault. Everything happened too fast. Yeah, why doesn't he have like a bag of snacks on him? Get that caloric intake up. Bro needs some McDonald's. Mr. Kageyaki, could I interest you in a Gundam collab McDonald's meal? There's 3 chicken Tutsta burgers that come with, one comes with tartar sauce. It was pretty good actually, because it barely had any tartar sauce. And that I only have my own incompetence to blame. We didn't bring trail mix. Let's return. After I recover my strength, we'll search the forest for the enemy. Understood. McDonald's is no Kanana propaganda? I mean, given that Sharzaku was the main for the McDonald's collab, I think it's Xeon propaganda. I'm pretty sure it's Xeon propaganda. I saw you live on Twitch yesterday! Yes. I was live on Twitch yesterday. And then we have one night stream a week over here, reading visual novels. Mistress of Red Musha. Indeed, it all started when that man returned to the village after his long absence, bringing with him the authority of the Rokunana prefect. It's strange that a prefect would be assigned to a tiny village like this, and we were worried what would come of it. But at first, we also took some small comfort in the fact that this was his home. Surely he would consider our interests. But that turned out to be a hasty assumption indeed. The moment Nagasaka arrived with his men, he gathered up the villagers and declared that we would mine the mountain. Yes, that's right. The mountain has always been said to hide great treasure, ever since a hunter found a precious stone there in Tokugawa's day. The villagers back then were overjoyed, it said. They immediately hired mining experts prepared to dig. Sorry. I have to like wear a mask when I go to bed because I'll wake up with like a dry mouth. Because I guess at some point in the day or in the night, my nose will clog up and I'll become a dirty mouth breather. But I thought it was okay. So like the past 2 nights I didn't sleep with the mask, but that was a mistake. My throat was like a teeny bit itchy today, and now it's come back to haunt me. A mask? Yeah, like the one that you would wear when you're sick. I just wear that to bed, so that when I breathe out, like the air still stays in there. You got like a nice little humid area. Yeah, and like genuinely cover it up, just to keep all of my hot breath near me. Otherwise, my throat just it stays dry the whole day. It's really annoying. But the Emishi tribesmen who lived on the mountain appeared before them and implored them to stop. According to the Emishi, the stones the hunter had found belonged to the Konjin, the god of metal, and to dig for more would invite the god's wrath. The villagers had never heard of the Konjin, so they ignored the Emishi and started digging. This has always been a poor village, so you can understand the excitement. And then the god's wrath fell. It was quite terrifying, if you believe the story. Just as the villagers were about to hit the vein, a blinding light surged from the mountain and swept the area like a living storm. Everyone whom the light touched turned to stone, or salt, or rusted. It changes with the storyteller. The records do show for certain is that many people died that day. In a panic, the villagers went to Emi's chieftain and begged him to save them from the curse. The selfish, after spurning the Emishi's warning, the Emishi did as they were asked without a word of complaint. They placed an ancient clan treasure in the deepest part of the mine as a barrier against the god's power, and collapsed the tunnel for good measure. It worked, as the curse never struck again. When I sleep with stuff on my face, I freak out because I did the same thing. When I thought I had COVID, I didn't sleep with a mask. I don't usually sleep with a mask. Only when I want to stop my throat from getting dry. The villagers were still afraid. They built a shrine on the mountain to appease the Konjin, and gave it into the Emishi's keeping. They still present offerings there, though the shrine is in disrepair and few Emishi remained. Anyway, now you know the history of the mountain. And Nagasaka intended to break that taboo. Digging a new tunnel would cost too much time and money, so he came up with the idea to reuse the old mine from the old record. We objected, of course. Not that all of us believe in the curse, mind you. It's just an old story, and it's hard to say how much of it is true. Still, even if the mines were completed without inviting disaster, what then? All that we could look forward to was harsh, back-breaking labor. We knew that there was no chance we would see any of the profit. And if the legends were true, well, then the village would be destroyed. Either way, it would only end badly for us. I protest. I guess if you lived with other people, wearing a mask at night would make sense. I was all alone! I didn't have to worry about that. Our protests were answered with drawn blades. I have no idea why he's so obsessed with the mine, but he executed everyone who spoke against him. Even the previous mayor. Yes, that was my older brother. I was just a storekeeper at the time. Once they threatened our lives, we had no choice. There weren't many soldiers with the prefect, but he brought a few strange warriors with him, mercenaries perhaps, and these were frightfully strong. We obeyed and started digging. The work was cruel, and they gave us no rest. Many died from exhaustion, or were executed as examples to the rest. Death if we resisted, and death if we obeyed. The village was doomed, but that damn mine at least proceeded accordingly to schedule, and without incident, as though the Konjin approved of what Nagasaka was doing. I know I'm not the only one who wet his pillow with tears of dismay. I'm wondering if it's like they hit like a gas pocket. Like in the past they hit like some sort of gas pocket that basically just like killed everyone. Isn't that something you have to be like wary of when you're mining? Like that's why they have like canaries and stuff. So that if the bird dies and you know that you should get out of there. Or is that a fake thing? A real or fake thing? We were at our wits' ends, and then you came, Madam Inspector. The mayor's house is fairly large, with enough space in the guest room to hold a sumo match. I surmise that this is due less to the owner's wealth than the simple overabundance of land. The room is not dirty, of course, but the furnishings are Spartan, considering that this house has been home to many generations of mayors. Its emptiness is as clear a sign as any of this village's property. The mayor himself seems uneasy, perhaps ashamed by the state of his home. I happen to find such austerity appealing, but he is unlikely to take that as a compliment when said austerity was not his choice. Besides, if he is truly ill at ease, then it is probably for a different reason. Though the presence of a complete stranger, myself, is likely a factor as well. The mayor's gaze has been fixed upon his other guests since the conversation began. But she's pretty! Understandable, really. She's a young woman for whom beautiful is an entirely appropriate description. See, even Kageyaki. Kageyaki seems like he has no game. Until now, because we're here. I'm here directing him, so now he has game. But before then, nah. Even he understands what beauty is. Her long, shiny hair, especially impressive. The delicate way she sips her tea, and the easy smile resting on her lips suggest high breeding. An impression strengthened by the elderly woman standing behind her with an invisible sign reading maidservant around her neck. And Kage got overwhelming game. Put some respect on my goat. I have to see it. I have to see it. He was described as like the Darkling, okay? That's not generally someone who's got game. Is a spitting image of a sheltered lady, or would be if not for the rather conspicuous flaw. Perhaps flaw is not the right word. does nothing to mar her appearance. The uniform suits her quite well, in fact, and that is a problem. Darkling is an aura, but I don't think it's an aura that would get you many girls. In fact, he wasn't even able to talk to anyone in the town before because of his aura. He had to use children. He had to use children to talk to other people, okay? Though not as bulky as medieval armor, modern military uniforms remain coarse, utilitarian, and a portent of evil luck. Yet, it suits the image of feminine beauty perfectly. How can this be? There's nothing unusual about the uniform itself. Ah, of course. It is she who suits the uniform, not the other way around. The aura of blood and steel was hers all along. However, she may appear, this woman is a soldier to the core. The mayor was present at the mine. He witnessed her kill 2 men without batting an eyelash, so he cannot now have mistaken her for a noblewoman in disguise. If that is not the source of his discomfort, then the only possibility is that he is troubled by what the uniform itself represents. This isn't good. Wait, actually... Hold on. I gotta take a picture of this. Honestly, the sprite scenes are like... They're kind of pieces of art. Yeah, I could shot that. I can just put myself in front of her gun. It feels like, right? Like it feels like a wallpaper included in the game. Like she's got a pose. They've got, it's like positioned in a really nice way. Tsukimi be executed. Oh. It's kind of. I told you guys we were gonna get a screenshot of the cute girl. I told you. There it is. I did it. I've done it. I'm just that good. I'm just that good. League of Nations, Allied Expedition Force, Yamato Garrison General Headquarters, aka GHQ. Goodness, I'm glad we have the AKA. That is a long name. He wears a uniform of a foreign army. That's just 6 years ago was our country's mortal enemy, and that now maintains an occupying force right on our doorstep. It is they who allowed Nokunana to rule Yamato. They who sit silently by while the country is destroyed and pillaged. You could plumb the depths of the Ogasawara Trench and not find a single reason to appreciate their presence. Moreover, the woman's features are clearly Yamatoan. Beastling and traitor are the only 2 words that come to mind. But while a turncoat could normally... Interesting that they use the word turncoat. I'm pretty sure that is. That's historically charged. Could normally expect to encounter loathing and suspicion. In some strange twist of fate, she is also the person who risked her life in the villagers' defense. The mayor can hardly be blamed for not knowing what to say. It falls to me to break the ice. I decide, though, I, too, haven't the slightest idea how to begin.
Muramasa.
Muramasa. I whisper in the back of my throat. Once Master and Tsurugi have completed the Tatewaki no Gi, or rite of joining, even a voiceless whisper such as this will reach the other over any distance. Muramasa's response comes immediately.
Nani?
Yes?
会話に詰まった。
The conversation has
客の
stopped.
礼儀として何か言おうと思うのだが、どうすればいいと。
Is this your goat? Is this your goat asking his pet spider mech how to converse? The conversation has stopped. As a guest, is it proper courtesy for me to offer a new topic? What should I do?
Muramasa, how do I converse?
Huh? Well, isn't it customary to start with weather? That's your goal.
なるほど。
I see.
I execute the plan forthwith.
良い日和ですね。
A fine day, isn't it?
はあ。
Yes. Awkward, silent. He does have Google. We did call the Tsunuki's AIs, so he literally just asked ChatGPT how to converse, which is yeah, I can see that.
他には
Anything else?
Well, how about oh no! Oh no, this is why you shouldn't use AI! They don't know what they're talking about. How about a witty joke?
分かった。
Understood.
Yeah, they do. I mean, I like his looks, but looks can't make up for this. He's got my level of like social skills. Execute.
大阪城を建てたのは誰だか知っていますか？
Who built Osaka Castle?
第一
Carpenters. An impasse.
他には
Anything else?
Wait, what? Osaka-jo. I feel like that's a joke that was lost because Dai is like Osaka. I can't. Because Osaka uses big kanji, and then Dai would use the big kanji as well. So he might have just completely given away the punchline. I'm sorry. Just please stop asking me. I'm starting to feel like I'm taking part in something truly reprehensible. He wants no part of this.
Alright.
Fortunately, my assistance is no longer needed. The woman has set her cup down and looks about to speak. It would seem that her silence was merely so that she could finish her tea. First, she addresses her companion. The story fits our preliminary investigation.
Hi.
Indeed. The old woman replies with a nod. In other words, her actions at the mine, which seemed awfully sudden to me and no doubt everyone else present, were taken with prior knowledge of the situation, of course. That doesn't change the fact that attacking a unit of Rokunana soldiers, including a dragoon, with a single rifle was reckless and an act as I have ever witnessed. I doubt I'll have a handle on this woman anytime soon, if ever. Don't worry, we'll help you. We got you, buddy. We got you. She turns her thin, unreadable gaze on me. I'd like to hear your story if possible.
ごもっともです。
Of course.
I can hardly expect her to ignore a Musha who appears out of nowhere. But first, allow me to thank you for saving us from certain death back there. I too am most grateful. If we might have your name. How to answer? I shouldn't divulge my identity to anyone. What should his nickname be? And these two be trusted? It's time to make a save. It's time to make a save on the other side too. Da, 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 da. First choice. Alright, I'm going to say, if we go by this affection meter. Wait, hold on. If we go by this affection meter, this choice might give us a bubble here. You know? You know? And I'm pretty sure the Dornians want her before we get her. So I feel like we should trust her, Dornians. I feel like we can trust her. Let me make sure I did. It's okay. There we go. Alright! Let's trust her. Real and true! I know the Dornians. I know the Dornians more than anybody else. That's it. I am Kageyaki's heart. We'll get him the girl. Trust me, we'll get him the girl. My heart tells me that I can. Logic, of course, tells me I know far too little about them. However, I do not deny that my first impression is favorable. She seems pretty chill. She seems pretty cool. I know that it is risky to choose emotion over reason. Fortunately, I am spared from making that choice. My analysis has concluded that to lie now is likely to cause trouble down the line. That aside, it is dangerous to develop affection for her. I must take care. What do you mean by that, Kageyaki? Why is that italicized?
Kamakura 警察署の港影明です。先ほどの行為は一身上の都合による振る舞い。
of the Kamakura Police Department. I acted for purely selfish reasons, so there is no need to think. It's more than enough that you have not blamed me for interfering in your affairs.
We gotta stand. We gotta stand.
あら、そんなご謙遜はなさらないで。命を救っておきながら感謝はするななんて、それでは私、恩知らずの恥知らず者になるしかありませんもの。ね、ばあや。
Oh my. Please don't be. No, we gotta. Ara. Please don't be so modest. If you don't let me thank you for saving my life, that makes me an ingrate. Right, sire?
はい、
Right,
全くでござい
right,
ます。
mistress.
港様、
I know we owe
対
you
応
a
ある
great
方
debt,
とはいえ、
sir.
お嬢
But I
様を
must
暴
ask
言無知の
you-
輩に貶めるがごときは、
Ask that you
どうか
refrain
ご遠
from
慮願
forcing
わ
my
しゅう
mistress
存じ
to
ます。
bear such shame.
そのようなつもりは決して。
That was not my
し
intent.
かし、
However, your point is well taken. I apologize for my rudeness.
Yes, I suppose that is how she would see it. I have some doubts as to whether she even needed my assistance, judging by her confidence. During the confrontation, it seems safe to assume that she has some plan for handling the Dragoon and his men. Or she's just insane. You know, one or the other. Even so, I can understand how someone who values courtesy would be ashamed to dismiss help freely given as unnecessary. Were I in her position, I would likely feel the same. I bow in apology. Seeing this, the women look at each other and laugh softly. Is my conduct amusing to them in some way? In my humble opinion, this woman who saved the village from Nokunana's violence has absolutely no reason whatsoever to thank me. But of course, there's no way of knowing that.
あら、いけない。申し遅れました。
Oh, where am I, man?
GHQ
I'm
民生局の
Otori
大鳥かなえです。恩人に先
With
に
the
名乗らせてしまって、
GHQ Civil
こちら
Affairs
こそ
Bureau.
無礼をお
It
詫び
is
し
I
なく
who
ては
must
なりませんね。
apologize for forcing my savior to introduce himself first.
はあ、
Entirely my fault. We'd already introduced ourselves to the mayor, so I thought, please forgive me.
どうか
I
お
am
許しを
Nagakura
港様。
Sayo, Miss
私
Tanae's
は家内
humble
の次女
servant.
長倉でございます。
De gozaimasu.
ご丁寧に
A pleasure to meet you,
Otori-chun.
Lieutenant Otori,
長
Miss
倉次女殿
Nagakura.
I bow once to each woman. The lieutenant's rank. I glean from a look at her collar.
しかし
Otori?
大鳥
Otori? Birdie? A bird? Is she a bird? She's like a bird. She'll only fly away. You don't know where he's going. I'm like a bird. I don't know any other lyrics to that song though. Not a name you hear often in casual conversation. However, it would be unwise to pursue the obvious suspicion. No, pursue it. I decided to let it pass for now. No, pursue it!
警察の方なのですね。
So you're a police officer.
はい。司祭よって
For various reasons, I do not hold official status.
あら、やっぱりそうなんです
So
ね。
I was right.
過分
I
な
thought
が
that
ら
might be the
警
case.
察局に武者を要する
Since
部
I've
門があ
never
るとは認
heard
識し
of
た
a
ことがなく
police
て、
keeping Musha
その
on
あたり
call.
詳しくお
Not
尋
that
ね
I'm
し
an
たら
expert on such
失礼
matters.
ですかしら。
Would it be rude of me to inquire further?
至極当然の疑問と存じます
It is perfectly reasonable line of inquiry. However, your restraint would be greatly appreciated.
I just kind of like how no nonsense Kageyaki is. I feel like you don't see that in a lot of like media, like at all. He's very quick to be like, oh yeah, that was my bad. Let me redo that. You can ask. Like logically, I can't stop you. However, please don't. Please don't.
There are no Yamato and Musha outside Rokunana's command. Please leave it at that. Otherwise, I may encounter significant difficulties carrying out my mission.
The ultimate straight man. Like it's gonna be played for funnies, but then it's also he plays the straight man even for the not funnies. To actually aid in conversation. Like it actually keeps the plot moving. It might have been easier just to keep my police ties a secret. Either way though, I'll have to identify myself as a police officer during my investigation. No one will cooperate with a complete stranger. And of course, I'll get back to Lieutenant once I do. Identifying myself now is the best way to avoid hoarding needless suspicions. For the same reason, I must be honest about what I can and cannot reveal. If that earns me her disapproval, so be it. I don't think so. We got a stamp. Mistress.
承知いたし
I
ました。
understand.
ぶしつけな質問をお許しくださいまし。
My thoughtless
先ほ
question.
どこの村で武者同士の戦闘がありました。
There was a battle between the two Musha in this village, but you were not involved.
それでよろしくて。
Will that do?
Yes. Thank you for your consideration.
Lieutenant Otori does not seem too offended by my reticence. Yep, we'll go with that. At least on the surface. Though the look Miss Nagakura gave me is sharper than before.
鎌倉署から来られたということですけれど、この村
You
の
said
駐在
that
の
you're
方で
from
はあ
the
りませんよ
Kamakura
ね。
department. So you're not stationed in this village.
Correct. I'm here to conduct an investigation.
それもお尋
Should
ねしな
I
い方がよ
refrain
ろし
from
いかしら。
asking that too?
No.
こちらは差し支えはあ
This
りません
presents no difficulties.
He's gonna say Ginseigo, and they're gonna call him crazy. It could be troublesome if it starts getting around, but I don't think I have to worry about that with her.
自分の任務
My mission is to locate and stop Ginseigo.
Yeah, you gotta think of a lie. What? Ginseigo?
銀星号。
Ginseigo?
銀星号。
The Silver Star?
それは
Sire, is that?
はい。
Yes.
近年関
I
東を中
believe
心に大
that's
活
what
躍
they
中と
call
聞
those
く
Musha
無差
who
別殺戮
indiscriminate,
犯のことかと。
indiscriminate massacres have terrorized Kanto of late.
そうよね。
Yes,
あらま
of
あ。
course.
そ
Oh
れは
my.
大変な。
How terrifying. And she ada-adas all over the place. That's crazy. Darkling versus Silver Star. His name his Darkling duck. It's right there. We need to add a duck bill to him. It's the only way. It's the only way. And the mask. We need to just give Kageyaki all of Darkling Duck's stuff, and then he'll be Darkling Duck. The GHQ pair's reactions seem a little flat, especially in contrast to the mayor, who is staring at me in shock. Considering Ginsego's reputation, one can say that the mayor's reaction is more natural. The two women may just have nerves of steel, or perhaps they were gone from Yamato until recently? That would not be surprising given their affiliation.
なるほど。それで
I
剣。
see. So that's why you have a tsurugi. Ah, pardon me.
ではまさか
So,
お代官
the prefect, Captain
長
Nagasaki,
坂隊員
is
が
Ginsei.
その銀星号の正
That's
体なのです
difficult
か
to believe.
それは違いま
He
す
is not.
し
However,
かし彼には
I suspect that he has entered
Ginsei
into a
と接
sort of
触を
partnership with
あ
Ginsei.
る種の協力
That
関
is
係
why I
を取り
attempted
結
to
んだ件があ
neutralize
る
him.
のです不覚にも逃走を許して
I
しまいま
failed
した
to
ので
prevent his escape, but I
後
intend
ほ
to
ど
begin my
追
pursuit
跡を
shortly.
行うつもりです
You got this, Kageaki.
そういうことですの
Oh, I see. Lieutenant Otori falls silent, covers her gaze. Her companion, too, appears to be digesting my explanation. I can tell that the mayor has many questions of his own, but he refrains for now. Probably understanding that I don't mean Ginseigo is about to appear in this village right this moment. I'm grateful for this, as any further questions would be difficult to answer.
おおむね了解いたしました港さ
I
ん
believe I understand
私
your
も
position.
許される範囲で協
If you
力さ
will
せていた
allow,
だきます
I would like to be of assistance, however I may.
ありがたきご好意感謝に耐えません
Thank you for your offer. I am in your debt.
That said, I would prefer to finish this mission without requesting her aid. Her soft, pink lips curve into a smile. She must have discerned my reluctance.
どうか遠慮はなさらないでくださいま
Please,
しね
don't hesitate to
私の
ask.
職務にも関わ
It
ることです
concerns
から
my duties as well.
失礼
If
中
I
尉
may, Lieutenant, I would like to know
あなたの職務を
what
お
those
伺いしま
duties
す
entail.
先ほどの私と
Were you not
お代官の
listening to
やり
my
とりは
conversation
お聞きになりませんで
with
し
the
た
prefect?
近くにはおりま
I
した
was
が
nearby, but I did not catch all the details.
私は民生
I
局から
was
検
sent
察
by
官と
civil
して
affairs
この
to
村に
inspect
派遣
this
されたも
village.
のですの
My duties are to
人々の生
ascertain
活の
the
実情を
condition
把握し
and treat
問題があれば
Yamato and Sil
改善に努めるのが
Yamato
職務になります
civilians and take measures to correct any problems that I find.
巡察官
An inspector.
I have heard of this system, and the lieutenant's execution of those Gokunana soldiers would indeed seem to conform to its stated purpose. However,
率直な物言いをお許しいただければ
If I might be permitted a blunt opinion,
どうぞ
please.
その制度が実効
I
的に
did
機
not
能してい
believe
る
that
とは
system
思いま
to
せん
be
でした
functional. It is my understanding that it exists simply to lend credence to the GHQ's claim of protecting Yamatoan interests and holds no real power.
あら本当に率直なでもそれは
My,
お互
very
い様ではな
blunt
く
indeed.
ておまわ
But
りさ
couldn't the same be said of you, officer?
確かに
An excellent point.
These days, failure is a perfectly acceptable synonym for a police officer. Or do I have that backwards? An officer actively working to put an end to the Ginseigo massacres must seem very strange indeed.
何もしない何も見ない
See nothing,
何も聞
hear
かない
nothing, do
それ
nothing.
が巡察官の
Maybe
慣
the
行かも
most
しれませ
inspector
んが
conduct themselves.
何もするなとは指示され
Or
てい
maybe
ま
how
せんもの
most inspectors conduct
何かしても
themselves, but I
咎められ
haven't
る
been
筋合いは
ordered
なし
not to take action. No one can fault me for carrying out my mission.
ねさよ
Right, Sayo?
はい
Right, mistress. I hope we get to learn more about Sayo. She seems cool. I see. It would appear that Lieutenant Otori has a bit of a rebellious streak. Or perhaps some other sort of streak.
とはい
She's
え
streaking?
私の活動が司令部に知られれ
That
ば
said,
すぐに
I will
召喚さ
certainly
れてしまうでしょう
Recalled as
その
soon as
後
my
で
superior
あの
learns
大
what
官
I've
様が戻
done.
ってくれば
If the
村は
prefect
結局
returns after my
元通り
departure, then the village is back to square one.
そういえば
Speaking of which, what has been done with the prefect's men?
武装解除の上で
We've
監禁
stripped
して
them
お
of
り
their
ます。
weapons and locked
あ
them
の
in a
連中
vacant
を大
house.
殺してしまえば
Personally, I think
多
simply
少代官
slaughtering
殿も
them
やり
would
にくく
throw
な
a
るでし
wrench
ょうけ
in
れ
the
どもね。
prefect's plan.
現行犯でないと処刑は難しくてよ、バイ。
That's a different.
と言って、
That's difficult to
監獄に
justify
送りつけても
executing
一
prisoners,
泊
sire.
二日で帰ってくるで
Still,
しょう
if we
し。
send them off to jail, they'll just be back in a day or two.
事故はい
So
か
it's
がでご
about
ざい
an
ましょう。
unfortunate accident.
監禁していた家屋
Sire's
が
like,
不
how
幸
can
な火
we
災で
kill them
責
ethically?
任問題が村に行き着く可能性を考えるとどうかしら。
The house catching fire, for instance. I'm worried that Nokunono will blame the villager.
空から隕石が降
No
ってき
one
た
can
のであ
hold
れ
the
ば、
villagers
これは
responsible
ど
for
う
the
もしようがございますまい。
odd meteor strike, can they? I don't know if that happens, ma'am. I'm not sure if that happens.
そうね。
That's true. Conversation has taken a turn for the sinister. Though judging by their casual tone, it's probably just a poor attempt at humor. Probably.
まあそれはさておいて。
We
こ
can
と
think
が
about
厄介
that
になる
later.
前に狩猟獲を
Best if
潰
we
してしまえ
eliminate
れ
the
ば
leader, yes?
万事は丸く解決なのです。私もあなたもお代
So
官を
you
捉
see,
えたい。
officer, we both need to
目的は
capture the
一致。
prefect.
協力は当
Since
然
our
と
goals
思
are
われ
the
ます。
same, it's only logical that we cooperate, no?
問題が一点
One problem. If a
別
new
の代官が
prefect
赴
is
任してき
assigned,
てまた同じこ
won't
と
he
にな
just
ると考
continue
えられ
the
ます
same vein?
長坂隊員は
I've
外
learned
交
that
事業を
Captain
黙認させるため
Nagasaka
に
has been funneling
民生
money
局へポケット
to
マネー
civil
をばらまいて
affairs
こ
in
ら
exchange for the tactical
幕
approval
面
of
によ
his
る事業
mining
なら彼個
operation.
人がそんな真似を
That
する
wouldn't
必
be
要はありません。
necessary if the shogun
つ
had
まり
ordered
こ
it.
れは独
We
創。
can conclude that he is acting entirely on his own.
この事業の収益を武器に
He,
出世階段
he
を
most
登っていく
likely
腹なので
intends
しょう
to
ね。
use the profit from
む
this
しろ
mine
事
to
業が
climb
軌
the
道に乗る
ranks.
までは
In
幕
which
府の
case,
介
he
入を
wants
避
to
けたい
keep
は
its
ず。
existence a secret
上前を
until
はめられ
it
る
shows
だけでござい
results.
ますから。
Otherwise, his superiors will claim the greater share of the earnings.
納得です
Sounds logical.
村としても代官がいなく
Is it safe to assume that the village too would prefer to have the prefect gone
そう考
and the
えて支
mining
障はありませ
operation
んか
halted?
はい
Yes,
はい
yes, we would be eternally grateful. However,
と
Yes.
代官の部下のこ
about
と
the
ですが
prefect's men,
今
there
の
are
とこ
still
ろ
a few who
全
haven't
てが
been
捕まって
captured.
いるというわ
Might
けで
have
はな
already
く
joined up with them.
もしかすると
まあ、これを
Well,
したり、
how
見逃しがござい
shocking.
ましたか。
We missed some, did we?
正規の兵士は
I think you got all the
あれで
regular
十分だと
soldiers,
思いま
but
す
there's still the prefect's mercenaries. Those strange folk I mentioned earlier. The sub-Martians. We got all the Zakuris, and now we need to get like the mechs of the week before we get to the big zombie family.
あら、いけない。うっか
Oh
り
no,
忘
I
れていま
completely
した。
forgot.
奴らは今日は
They were away
朝
from
か
the
ら
village
ど
this
こかへ
morning.
出
I
かけたよ
suppose
う
they
に
were
して
lucky not to have run into the inspector.
了解しました
Understood.
念頭に置いておきま
I
す
will take every precaution.
The enemy may not be alone. Things could get complicated. Then, things are always complicated. Well, I must exercise caution. It's nothing to be particularly anxious about.
では大鳥巡察官
I may be excused, Lieutenant.
これ
I
より
would like
自
to
分は
return to my
任務
mission.
を再開したく
Do
思
I
いま
have
す
your approval to
行
act?
動の自由を
as I
認
see
めていただけるでしょうか
Don't say yes. Don't say yes. We don't know who he's gonna kill.
もちろんです。私はしばらくここへご厄介になります。
See, now
支援が
she's
必
the
要
one
で
that's
したら
too
その都
trusting.
度ご連絡をくださいまし。
Mayor's gonna end up dead. Or worse, his daughter, his granddaughter. Oh no. Oh no, oh no. Oh no, save the granddaughter. Of course. I will take advantage of the mayor's accommodations a little while longer. Should you have need of assistance, please contact me.
恐縮です
Much
それでは失礼
appreciated.
します
I'll take my leave. Mayor,
村長殿
thank you for your
お邪魔いたし
hospitality.
ました
いえいえ何のお構い
Not
もで
at
きま
all.
せず
I wish I could have offered more in ways of refreshment. What We had tea, but I think it was like British. I think it was like black tea. What are you doing here? How did you get here? You were in the other town. Did you follow us, freak? But now you're gone? Back here. Let me hit you. Ugh. Ugh, 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 ugh. Ugh, ugh, ugh. Damn. I must be getting old to let a whelp like that breast me. Next time, I'll...
不覚であったの主らしくもない
I don't know how to do these voices. There's always so many men in these games! Oh! 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 Not like you just suffered a defeat.
Kotaro.
Oh, perfect.
怪我は大したことはないようだの
Your injuries don't appear serious after all. A few bruises never hurt anyone. Looks like something is still looking out for you. Wow. Wow. I would still believe it. Like, I feel like, I don't know, given this world, it's probably like they stole the body. One moment. Oh, wait, wait, I didn't press enter. One moment. I have just the thing to fill you up. I also have a few things to put a spring in your step. Would you like one? Sounds like you know what happened. I saw the whole thing. And did nothing? Well, was there anything I could have done? No excuse. If you'd been there killing that damn moose, it would have been child's play. I still would. That's acceptance. That's the acceptance we need in life. Very, very true. But then, what would you have done? What? Killed that inspector in a fit of rage, perhaps? That would have been a poor choice, no? Killing her would have ruined everything. All the bribes in the world couldn't have kept GHQ from claiming your head. You look at it that way, your defeat was a stroke of luck. Of course, we can't have you dying either, so I was prepared to act if necessary. Fortunately, you escaped without my lifting a finger. Don't blame me for not helping when you didn't need. I may be a bit slow on my feet, but I remember that I'm getting in the years. I'm fine. I'm sure fine. Major point. There's no use blaming you for my failure. But you better be ready for the next time. Certainly, I am in your pay after all. How can I refuse? What will it be then? Shall I compose a poem? Or how about a fine painting? Oh, he's into the arts? He's into the arts? I need someone to talk in third person about them. I don't know if they go as he, because I still believe that it's a dude in there controlling a woman's body, but who knows?
Since when am I doling out pensions? I was only joking. Don't glare at me. Fortunately, you have for you freeloading is one word you won't find in my family direct dictionary. You may do as you please with these bones of mine. Such a waste of my. Such was my intent. Don't patronize me. You have as much need of my money as I have of your sword. Oh, quite true. I'm sorry to say we lost our liege and our purpose. We? And even for a time, our Tsurugi. Now, our grandchildren will grow up in poverty if we don't jump at every chance we get. Even the ones that seem a little... So we say, oh? Nonsense. You're that desperate, then you can have that crimson musha all to yourself. Oh. Give Muramasa to me, will you? I thought a man with your pride would be itching at a chance to settle the score. Yeah, I think he cares more about money than pride. Trying to provoke me, are you? Of course I would settle the score myself, if I could. With my wings damaged, there's no hope of that. Or Tsurugi can't fly. Not until I find a smith to fix it. Smith. I hardly expect him to take my commission. Imagine he's raising a cup right now to toast my defeat. White-haired guy is? He does seem like he'd be sipping a cup of alcohol when people need him most. If you let it rest, I'm sure it will be as good as new in no time. Uchi aren't that accommodating like your Shinuchi. Wait, wrong voice. We'll both die of old age long before it repairs itself. Well then, if you're so keen on watching the old man exert himself, then I suppose... Oh wait, old man! Okay, we got it. Himself! Perfect! Thanks, bro. Thanks. I'll just have to prove that I can still keep up with the young. I'm hippin' with it. That Musha seems set on taking my head. He'll likely come for me soon. Make sure you finish him. I have little desire for my withered corpse to be buried next to yours in the god-forsaken forest. Liberation! He has to carve someone? Doesn't want to interact? Is he a NEET? I share that sentiment. As much as it pains me to say it, I can't say the prospect of staring at your face eternally excites me. I'm glad we agree that aside, I believe you let slip some rather important information right now. He? Which was?
Muramasa.
Oh, yeah, I was thinking about that. I'm like, wait, he knows that it's Muramasa? You called it Muramasa. That red Tsurugi, yes. Are you certain? Well, appraising Tsurugi is not my profession. I suppose I might be mistaken. Single look was enough to convince you. It was the legendary Muramasa. Now I remember. That man asked a strange question. Whether I knew Kinseigo. Oh. Is that your best attempt at playing the fool? It seems that you know something I don't. I wonder. Is it related to that upgrade you performed on my Tsurugi? So, the Kinseigo informant is the old man! No matter. Whether he truly wields Muramasa of Seishu or not, it doesn't change the fact that he's a difficult opponent. Can you defeat him?
You need not to worry about that, my friend. Whether it be the cursed Muramasa or the blessed Masamune, it matters not. When they face me, even the mightiest Musha are but lost, frightened children.
You best live up to your books. I don't know. I didn't know you had such powerful technique.
It's not the sort of thing you waste on few uppity villagers. Against a veteran warrior such as yourself, however, it may come in handy. Would you like to find out? Or perhaps the gentleman over there would be willing to help us demonstrate. Who? Could I get a rain check on that?
You.
Oh! It's been some time, Sorimachi. Sorry for not keeping in touch. Just like everything about him like screams sniveling brat. He was raised with money. He doesn't care about other people. He just does what he wants because it's fun. Who knows? We'll find out. Oh my god, was I right? Was I right? Good timing. I was just about to send someone to fetch you. Yes, well, I had a feeling. And I've got a pretty good idea what you're gonna say.
Let me say it anyway. I need to get it off my chest. You lying bastard! You assured me civil affairs was in my pocket. They were supposed to make sure nothing got in my way. Oh wait, no, I might be wrong. Alright, he's not the Smith. Yes, I did. That was when I brought you to meet Colonel Cobden, wasn't it? I figured you'd want to talk mano a mano and all that. But what about... What did it get me? An inspector. I paid him precisely to keep this from happening. Is Cobden a fool? Or an ingrate? Was all of that money wasted?
You're quite right to be angry. Quite right. But just so you know, Captain, the Colonel hasn't gone back on your bargain, or forgotten it for that matter. His voice actor is actually pretty suave, but I don't think he deserves that voice. I don't think this character deserves that suave voice. You're saying this is how he keeps his promises? Like this, it doesn't fit him. No one looks at this guy and thinks that he talks like he pulled the right strings in the right places, that's for sure. It's just there was one teeny thing missing. The inspector program. Never saw it coming. Never see it coming. You see that my mind is... Voicing it reminds me of the Breaking Bad English dub videos. Yeah, I'm voicing it like we're back in like the 90s and the early 2000s. An inspector's job is to check in on the local scene. Wait, you know, we could give him a Barson accent. He you know, like Italian mobster? See the locals occupy territories, getting all that.
But that's the PR line.
侵略者じゃありませんって
The
格好
point
つ
is
ける
to
ため
make
にあるようなもんでし
GHQ
て
look less like an invading army, but it's really just a paid vacation. Inspectors all know they're not supposed to do anything. You
巡察官は
know what? No, I think you're right. I think this does match him better.
そんなだから中佐も気にはしてなかったんです
That's
が
why
ね
I'm slipping the colonel's
それ
mind.
でも山
That's
飛
why
び
I
との
slipped
注
the
意がこ
colonel's
こへ
mind.
警察に出た
Not
って
that
聞
he
くと
didn't try to
使
correct
い
a
走りに
mistake,
非公式
mind
の
you.
伝言を与えて終わせたんですよこ
As
うして
soon as he heard a Yamatoan lieutenant be assigned to this village, he sent an errand boy with a message for her.
貴様が
And that's supposed to be you.
再で
You got it.
ただそれが
But
間
he
に合い
was
ます
too
んで
late.
ね
And by the time I arrived, the inspector had
あの
already
巡
got
査官
him
がやっ
dialed
ちまっ
things
た
up.
後でして後ほど中佐に連絡を
I
飛
bet
ばし
the
ておきますが
colonel will be awfully
驚くでしょうね。
surprised when I tell him
何もし
inspectors
ない
are
のが巡
supposed
察
to
官の
be
本分だ
lazy
っていうの
bums.
に
Who'd have
まさか
thought one
建
actually
前の
do
方を押し
take her
立てて
job
あれまでの人が
seriously?
言う
What
と
a
は
world!
いやはや
Did you deliver your message?
ねえこちらへ来る前に
Yes, just
態
before
度の
coming
約
here.
束がど
I
んなのな
couldn't
んて言えま
say
せんから
anything about our
単純に
deal, of course, so
何
I
もし
just
ないで
relayed
ほしい
the
っていう
colonel's
こう
wishes
伝え
for
る
her
だ
to
けの内容
back
だったん
off.
ですがねそれをいいことに白を
But
切ら
she
れちまいま
used
して
that as an excuse to
自
play
分が
thumbs,
巡
didn't
察官
she,
の職
Dave?
務を果たすだけです
Kept
と
saying
こう
she
で
was only doing her
そりゃ正論
duty.
ですからね
Absolutely right. Oh, yes.
こっちとしちゃ返す言葉っても
How
んが
was
な
I
い
supposed to argue?
あの女
Who
は
is
何者だ
she?
詳しい話は存じま
I'm
せんが
not
ね
privy to the details, but
欧州の動画
apparently
の
she's
文から
on
連盟
loan
軍に
to
出
the
向してるんだそう
AEF
で
from some country
そ
in
いつは別
Europe
に
or
珍しく
other.
も何ともありゃしま
That
せん
is
が
itself. That by itself is nothing unusual,
大
but
和人なのだろう
she's Yamatoan, isn't she?
その通りで
Oh, yeah.
名前も
Otori
大鳥金
Kane,
山
born
鳥
Yamato born and
もちろ
raised.
ん大和語
And
に
of
不
course,
自
she
由はなし
speaks the language
と
perfectly.
間
I
違いのな
haven't
い
the
ところでし
faintest
た
idea what she was doing
それ
over
がど
there.
うして欧州にいたやら
Curious. New York Bronx gave me that to me. We picking up the gabagoos. The gabagoos.
司令部での立場は強いのか
We gotta rough him up.
I should watch oh shoot. Mr. The Sopranos. I'll watch The Sopranos so I can get the best accent for this guy.
Does she have clout with command?
いや全然
Not
主
a
流の派閥には属してないそうですからね
Doesn't belong with any major faction, I
役に立つ
hear.
こともあるだろうってん
Sounds
で
like they gave her a place just because they thought it'd be useful to have a native around. Oh, it's just a rebellious
今回の件は
officer
単
gone
なる
on
跳ね
with
返
the
りの独走なのだな
reservation.
そういうことですかね
Looks that way.
始末はどうつける
How will you fix this mess?
コブデン中佐に連絡を
I'll
取って
get in touch
召
with the
喚メール
Colonel
を出してい
Coleman
ただ
and
きましょう
ask him to order her back to
い
base.
つになる
How long will that take?
こっちの連絡は明日中
It'd
に
be
はつく
faster
とし
with
て
a phone, but a
電
village
話
like
がありゃ
this
一
won't
発
have
なんですが
one.
ね
Of those.
こんな村に
Let's
電
say
線が
my
引かれてる
message
わけは
gets
ないで
there
すし
sometime tomorrow
それを
when
受けた
Colonel
中佐殿が
gets
すぐに動い
on
て
it
くれ
right
たとして
away.
巡査から巡察官への連
He
絡
should
は
be able to
無線
contact
が
the
あるはず
inspector
です
by
ね
radio. He might pretend not to notice, but she can't ignore it for a whole day, surely.
丸一
After
日とは
that,
ごま
it's
か
all
せないで
yours,
すよ
Captain.
ここ数日が
So
勝負という
everything
こ
will
と
be
だの
decided in a matter of days.
分かった
Alright.
よろしく頼む
Counting on you, Sorimachi.
思えば
Come
貴
to
様に
think
は
of
世話
it,
になりっ
I'm
ぱなしだ
rather
な
in your debt, aren't I?
GHQ との
Not
折衝
only
に
have
融
you
資の
negotiated
仲
with
介
GHQ
幕
and
兵以外
secured
の今後も利用
financing
だろ
on
う
my
と
behalf, but you
小太郎を
even
よこして
sent
もくれた
Kotaro to supplement my man.
そうだの
I feel the
鳥
same.
町殿は
You
わしにと
returned
っ
my
ても
cleanser
鶴
and
見を
gave
取
us
り
a
戻して
chance
くれ
to
た
make
上
a
に
decent
儲
wage.
け話の世話までしてくれ
You're
た
a good
恩
man
人
to have around.
感
めっそうもない
Hey, it was nothing.
成功の暁には報いさせても
I'll
らおう
make sure you're rewarded once my plans have succeeded.
いや
That's mighty kind of you. But your gratitude is more than enough. He's scheming something. He's scheming, I know it.
Oh, how charitable of you. Unless. Unless it doesn't matter to you whether I succeed or fail. Is that how your GHQ masters see it? Sorimachi Ichizo.
Well, when you put it like that, yeah, pretty much.
Scoundrel you are.
I'll take that as a compliment.
By the way, I have one more question for you.
If I may be of service.
Have you seen a crimson musha?
No. So I heard what happened. My condolences.
Do you know anything? If his words are to be trusted, then he is not affiliated with either Rokunan or GHQ.
Well now, it's not what I'd call much of a lead.
What is it?
Just now, when I went to see the inspector, I ran into a cop outside the mayor's place.
A cop?
A young fellow with an awfully gloomy look on his face. Darkling. It was a darkling look.
What sort of man was he?
No. We didn't say a word to each other, but if I had to guess, I'd say he's the sort who doesn't get along with our kind. Well, which is to say, a good guy, a real saint. Bet he was raised in a nice, loving family. How do people go like this? Like, they're like, man, that guy looks really gloomy, really darkly. I've never seen such a more depressing aura. But you know what? He's a good guy. How do those two things go together?
Ah, I see what you mean.
Speak for yourself. I'm a paragon of virtue. Of course, I'm not saying I don't like his sort. Everyone who takes life seriously is alright in my book, whether they're good guy or bad. That's everyone these days, my friend. No one can afford to treat life like a game, not anymore. So you think he's the Musha? Where there are saints. Wait. Where there are saints what? Wait, finish that sentence right now. There's angels? Are there saints? Is there bad stuff where there's saints? You slay them! Uh-oh! Kageyaki slays them. Kageyaki slays anything, I feel like. If Kageyaki so feels it, he will slay. He will slay. I don't know enough to see for sure. I'll tell you this much though. He's good with a blade. Knew that the moment I saw him. Original Japanese is Buddha. The translation doesn't roll off the tongue. Wait, what was it? Paragon of virtue. But I don't think I'd even get Buddha out of him. I feel like I don't see depression. I wouldn't see someone who looks severely depressed and be like, Buddha. The original of where there are saints. Okay, was that a line from earlier? Are we quoting the games line? Because I don't remember that. If that was last week or 2 weeks ago, then I definitely don't remember that. This is the one singular problem with reading weekly. That I have a goldfish brain.
武者であってもおかしくないほどにか。
Bam. It was? Okay. Hello again, Agent Catfish. It is cold. I totally don't blame you for coming to sleep in my lap. Where there are saints, I slay. Where there are demons, I slay. Gotcha. Okay, yeah, I've only heard that one, so that definitely did not click in my brain for a long. I need him to... Wait, he didn't say it this time! Did he? I need him to say it every time if it's to get stuck in my brain. It's also the line people always quote. See, I never see people talk about this game. I see GIFs. I see GIFs because, like, my friends post them. And I see the face palm. That's basically, like... That's what I associate with Muramasa. I don't associate, like, any lines. Except, I guess, the balance line. That's about it. Oh my gosh. Bro, you are shedding. It's not that hot yet. Can you keep it in for a little? Rebirth. Alright, let's keep going. Good enough to be a Musha. Oh yeah! It's the first I've heard of police having a Musha. Let's err on the side of caution. Can you tell me what he looks like? No problem! Just look for the most depressed person you ever did see. So where there is Buddha, I will slay them. That one? I feel like Saints works better, honestly. It is nearly dusk by the time I begin my search for the forest. How are you feeling? Not my best, but but it'll do. This is cool. Dumba, Agent Catfish. The duel with the prefect. I keep wanting to say it as perfect. The prefect nearly drained my calorie reserves dry. Food and rest are the only way to replenish them. Normally, I would require an easily digestible meal of moderate size, and at least 6 hours of sleep to be at full strength. The current situation, however, forces me to prioritize my pursuit of the prefect. The longer I wait, the more time he has to regroup. I ate some energy bars from a small, out-of-the-way store, did some light exercise to aid digestion, defecated, and took a brief rest. As such, about 2 hours have passed since leaving the mayor's residence. Saints aren't really a cultural thing in Japan, because, you know, Christianity. They are a cultural thing, but not in the same way. Definitely not the same culture. Bum, bum, bum. There is a history. There is a history. But it's, like, very different. It's better than nothing, but only just. Still, it should hold me long. It should hold me through a single short engagement. I'll refrain from armoring until we make contact. We risk being taken by surprise. For now, but to conserve fuel at all costs. I guess you're right. Let's just pray that he doesn't have the strength to mount an ambush. I walk down the unpaved road. I wonder at the notable absence of foot traffic. Is it simply because there are no fields in this direction? Or have the villagers locked themselves in their homes, wait out the storm? Given the setting sun, I suppose it might just be the time of day. I wanted to finish this before dark, but that is looking to be a difficult proposition. Season is late autumn, time of year when poets liken the sun to a falling rock.
To who?
Huh?
To
whom should I pray?
Your mom.
Hardly in a position to beg the favor of the gods.
Then why not ask for a demon's protection?
How can I grant my own prayers?
Oh, that's so edgy! Alright, Dordians, be careful. You might cut yourself. You might cut yourself on his edge. I was referring to myself. Oh gosh, she's just as edgy. Guys, they're both edgy. They're made for each other. She's the secret one. She's the secret! They are. They're matching each other's free.
Think too highly of yourself, weapon.
I could say the same for you, puppet. They've even got cute nicknames for each other. Am I not warm enough for you? Left, Asian catfish life. I'm actually gonna turn on the heat. Hold on. Now kiss. Hold on, I'm gonna turn on the heater. Like it's out. It's like really not even that cold. There's no way it's like that cold. I don't know, it's just, I think it's because it's been warm recently. So like it's suddenly being a lot colder. It's hitting! I can't take it. I can't take the cold. Having a tuning off. This rocks. Has anyone ever done that? Has anyone ever held a chunie? A chunie off? Who's the chuniest of them all? Mirror, mirror on the wall. Who's the chuniest of them all? You have to find who's the most chunie. We'd ask them to tell us their special powers. Yes, I've played Daisy. That is true. They're pretty chunie in there. Dun, dun, dun. Okay. Like what is happening? What am I currently doing? I remembered. The shadows are growing longer by the minute. I pick up pace. We leave the road leading up to the secret mountain and enter the forest proper, aiming for the area where I saw the prefect crash. It is unlikely that he would have gone far with the wounds that he would have sustained upon impact. Finding him should not be too difficult. That is, if I don't let this maze of thick, interlocking trees throw off my sense of direction. With the terrain and time of day as they are, I can't even depend on the sun for guidance. And just wait for nighttime and use the moon! Use the stars! Where is the northern star to lead your way? Literally its job.
Perhaps I should have requested a guide.
I dismiss the idea as soon as it comes to mind. How can I risk someone else's safety when I can't even ensure my own? Perhaps it's talented! Facing me have brought on a spell of faint-heartedness. I dig the nails of my left hand into the palm of my right. What? Why? It seems really unnecessary. The pain helps renew my focus. It still seems unnecessary.
Do you sense anything?
Yes. Mother's scent.
こればっかりは間違いようのない匂い。確かに
Unmistakable.
この辺りにある。
It's definitely around here somewhere.
正確な位置は
But you don't know the exact location.
Okazan?
私のあれの気配を捉える能力は剣本来の耳ほど確かじゃないのよ。
My ability to sense mother and her eggs isn't as precise as radar. I could only get a general idea of the location. It takes visual confirmation to be sure.
そちらには反応がないの
And
か
what about your radar? Hear anything?
地表で、
On the ground?
しかもこの地形で
In
はね。
this terrain?
そうだな
Of course, a foolish
疑
question.
問だった
Radar is useless with all these trees and rocks surrounding us. We need is a powerful infrared scanner like those mounted on the army's newest walker dragoons. But one of those isn't simply going to fall into our laps unless...
地道に探すとしよう
Unless it does.
We'll search the old-fashioned way.
そうね。
Okay.
方角の確認は任
Give
せ
the
て。
direction to me.
コンパスの代わりにはな
So
るとい
you'll
う
serve as a compass, at least.
それは助か
It's
る
helpful.
え、
Yes.
私も自分の有
I'm
能さに感
awed
動
by
して
my
る。
own usefulness. I proceeded through the undergrowth. Muramasa's last biting words lingering in the small bone of my ear. We haven't come that far yet, but already every direction I turn looks the same. There are only trees and more trees as far as the eye can see. In the light of day, this might be a pleasant stroll. With night fast approaching, however, I must appear either a fool testing his courage or a suicidal man looking for a place to die. The latter seems more plausible. Any of the surrounding trees would provide suitable purchase for a noose. Bro,
どこかから
I keep
悲鳴か
expecting
恨み
to
事で
hear a
も聞こえて
scream
きそう
or
ね。
the muttering of a ghost. Is she scared? Is scared. She's scared. I wonder how big she is right now, though. Muramasa's chatter, evinces a similar train of thought to my own.
いわば招くというぞ
Speak of the devil and he doth appear, they say.
こういう話をしていると、
You
本当
mean
に
talking about it might make it happen?
ああ
Yes.
Ow!
こんな風かしら。
Ow! You mean like that?
そうだな
Yes. Like that.
My foot catches against something on the ground. A root. Probably exposed by heavy rain. Thank you, Symphony of the Night Wolf. Thank you. Thank you. You've done us a great service. After checking that my shoe is undamaged, I resume walking, taking great care where I step. There's little danger of injury, but a damaged shoe would impede my movement. That's also just like the worst
大丈夫
thing. It's just annoying to have like a damaged shoe. Are you alright?
問題ない
Yes.
ね
Hey,
ああ
Yes.
I stopped walking.
え、今、本当に聞こえなかった？
I think I really did hear something just now.
俺もそのように思う
So did I.
I scanned the area. Nothing out of the ordinary. Just trees, rock, and dirt. Trained my ears. Silence. Only buzzing of insects and rustling of leaves. Nothing to draw my attention. But that only makes the sound echo louder in my memory. I strongly doubt that I'd imagined something like that in a quiet forest like this.
人の声ではなかったな
It didn't sound human.
そう思うけれど、
Then what was it?
野犬？
A wild dog?
もう少し大きい獣
Something
のような気もする
larger. Thing.
方角はわかるか
Do you know where it came from?
わかるけど、行くつもり？
Yes. You're going to check it out?
Animals don't roar without a good reason. And that was an aggressive sound.
That's pretty sound logic. You think someone might be in danger?
If two wild animals were fighting, don't you think we'd have heard the second by now?
What if it died already? True. Alright, let's go. I'll lead the way, so stay close. It shouldn't be far. Oh my gosh, this looks so similar. My fears were well-founded. But then, they usually are. A person is visible through the trees. Of middling height and wearing a school uniform. Perhaps a village boy? In the dim light, it's hard to be sure. A person is crouched, their back to us, facing off with something in the bushes. Is it? It said boy, but could it be that other, the girl? But why would she be here? Then again, we didn't know that what's-her-face was a GHQ officer, so who knows what that high schooler girl is? Who knows? Something. Indeed. At this angle, with the student blocking my line of sight, most ordinary animals would be hard to make out, but this creature is clearly visible, therefore it is far from ordinary. It is a dog, a wild dog. Most likely. Its fierce glare and rough tousled fur set it apart from the domesticated hound you see in human company. Indeed, its savage visage would not look out of place amongst the company of Nokonana soldiers. Truly incredible thing is its size. Compared to that of a small bear, if it stood on its hind legs, it might even rival an average human in height. I've never seen a dog before, wild. Never seen such a dog before, wild or otherwise. Something strange about this, Muramasa says inside my skull. Do the villagers really coexist with such creatures? I can't imagine a beast like this finding enough in the forest to sate its appetite. I nod silently. The creature have wandered in from elsewhere. It sucks that Japanese wolves are extinct. Bring him back. I just read Raging Loop. Yep, yeah, definitely. Definitely. That'll bring him back. I nod silently. Okay, we read that. My question will have to wait. The tension in the air is thick, though the student remains utterly motionless. Even as the beast growling grows more hostile, I cannot even tell whether the student is looking at their opponent. If they were alone, I would have guessed them to be picking flowers. Mido, shouldn't we?
No need.
I should be able to handle such a beast without my armor. Although, that isn't what I meant. I reduced my pace, approaching slowly and silently, as if to leap into the fray. If I leapt into the fray, it could distract the student and give the beast an advantage. It'd be shameful, indeed, if I got someone killed by offering assistance when it clearly wasn't needed. Once close enough, I hide behind a nearby tree. The dog, however, seems to sense my arrival, perhaps fearing what I might do. It howls one last time in warning. Oh, that's a lot more dog than I thought. That's very dog-like. Then lunges before the echoes have faded. Fangs poised to tear into the yet motionless student. Beast is fast with its arrow-like charge, typical of canines. As at this close range, evading such an attack would be nigh impossible. At last, the student rises to their feet. Their motions are slow and deliberate, bear-like even. Though I compared the dog to a bear just moments ago, the human is deserving. It seems is more deserving. The dog leaps. The student waits to meet. It is not the wild dog who takes the enemy's throat. First contact is established between the student's right fist and the dog's brittle trachea. The former punching through the latter like a hammer against a porcelain vase. Holy descriptions. It is the dog's own power that affects this outcome. Imagine an orange flung at a pincushion, and you have the right idea. The student needed no more strength than was necessary to place their fist at the enemy's path. I hear a sharp, somehow comical crunch. Or do I just imagine it? Oh. No, sad doggy sounds. If so, and I imagine it because the sight is so surreal. The massive creature soaring through the air like a circus animal, howling all the while before crashing to the earth, exactly where it began. Hello, Pente, welcome in! How you doing? You just missed it. We had a character from the Bronx. We made him from the Bronx. Dun, 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 dun. Doing good! Fantastic. Bone Beast thrashes briefly in the dirt. By the time the student has walked to its side, the convulsions have all but subsided, leaving only the short wheezing sound, its last breath. The blow must have crushed vertebrae, along with the trachea and larynx, for which the creature needed only think its own strength. As a result, it will not have to suffer a long, agonizing death. Ironic, yes, and pitiful. The student stops a pace or two away from the dying animal, perhaps unsure whether to deal the finishing blow. But before it can be decided, it's all over. As the dog draws its last breath, and the forest falls silent once more, the student bows their head in regret, if only slightly. Seeing this, I think, I mean, I feel like that's we'll save just gotten 2 saves in 1 day. So this has to be the girl. What is she doing here? Sincere! I don't know, bowing after you kill something seems sincere. Like, she was being attacked, okay? And she's still bow. This reaction is nothing if not sincere. The student's regret does not come from having killed without intent. There's no hint of doubt in their strike. They knew that their blow would slay the creature, yet followed through nonetheless. The student must have decided there was no other way to guarantee their own survival. They were right. One must never underestimate wild animals, knowing that it should be easy for the student to banish guilt and celebrate the victory. Such is right of all who survive battles, not of their own choosing. All the more when the enemy is a monster, the creature was. One is allowed to fight back when attacked, I believe. But the student does not celebrate, for all that matters to them in the aftermath is the fact that they have taken a life, and this burden they shoulder willingly, knowing that it is theirs to bear. Some might dismiss this as mere posturing. I, however, choose to ascribe it to the working of a pure heart. And I cannot help but find it endearing. Can we see her? Endearing. A sentiment I must try to avoid. Too bad! Like, why are they keeping it a secret if it's so obvious? Like, the game is even like, yeah, you should know by now. This is her.
もういいよ、見物人。
You can come out now. Just as I was debating whether to leave, the student speaks over their shoulder. They knew I was here all along. It seems. I step out from behind the tree.
武者式の組打ち術ですか?
When? This is like common route, you know? This is the common route. We haven't decided on a side. You've studied Musha. You have studied a Musha school of unarmed combat? Huh? You have studied a Musha school of... Okay, we're just skipping it.
わかるのか。
You can tell?
ばあさんに習ったんだ。
I learned it from my granny.
維新で没落す
Her
る前は
family used
ここら辺の殿様だった家の系
before
類だとかで。
they
いろい
lost
ろとな。
everything in the restoration. They dust their hands off their shirt, then turn and fix me with their piercing eyes. He's immediately narrow in surprise, which quickly turns to unveiled disgust. Ew.
てめえかよ。
おばあちゃんが言っていた。てめえか。
その説は。
A pleasure to see you again.
Yeah, these two met before. Briefly. But he had never met with Otori before. He'd never even seen her. 'Cause I don't think we'd even met him by then. Right? We hadn't even met Kagayaki by the time, like when we first met Otori. She's so short. Leave her alone! Yeah, she knows us as the guy who kowtows to to punks. Student is not a boy, nor is it skirt. Come on. This isn't like the forward-thinking time, okay? Although I guess we do have a character that's an old man in a woman's outfit, so maybe he's just prepared for that. Or is this our first meeting? Yeah, but she looks super cool. Hers is not a face I am likely to forget soon. She is the girl who intervened during the altercation with the Rokunana-backed gangsters in Kamakura some time ago. They called her Ichijo, if I'm not mistaken. And by they, I mean the kids that I completely destroyed. Like, did I destroy the two that are alive? Nah, but I basically wasn't there to stop anything from happening to them. And then the one kid that got away unscathed, yeah, do you remember him? Yeah, I offed him. I hope that's okay with you, Ichijo. It was thanks to her that the children in my company at the time were unharmed. You rejected my thanks then, but now I have a second chance to offer it. Before I can decide whether to make the attempt, he preempts me.
あの時は土下座で。
First you bow to gangsters, now you watch while people get attacked by dogs. Whoops, these days are really something, huh?
恐縮です。
Not at all.
女性は無用
I
と
merely
言えた
judged
もの
my
で
assistance
手出しを控え
unnecessary,
させ
so
て
I
いただきました。
refrained from interfering.
言い訳としちゃ
A
上等
nice
だ。
excuse, she says, with venom in her voice. I don't begrudge her reaction. It is only natural to judge cowardly a man who watches from the shadow while someone fights for her life. In fact, I can't get over the fact that she punches. I should probably apologize for standing idle regardless of my
申
motives.
し訳ありません。
My sincerest apologies.
I bow deeply.
でけえ
You
図
should
体
put
して
your
やがるく
size
せ
to
に。
good use once in a while. Hey, Talsy! Why did you actually try doing something with your height for once? That's how we gotta get back. We gotta get back at the tall people. By acting like they're useless for being tall. The girl looks away, scorn clearly on her face. My apology seems to have irritated her further. Not that I begrudge her stringent attitude, such as the province of youth. Useless tall man! I follow with an innocuous question.
Miss Ichijo, was it? Strange coincidence to run into you here. Do you have some business in the village?
I want to know.
Miss Ichijo.
No response. Silence falls upon our corner of the forest.
The conversation has reached a standstill. Oh,
please don't ask for more conversation. What am I supposed to do about it?
Did I try a witty joke? No?
Don't you dare. Mitsurugi's curt response reaches me from her hiding place. Probably in one of the trees overhead. As though she could hear our exchange, the girl turns back to me and speaks, her voice dripping with reluctance. Ayane.
Pardon?
It's Ayane. Ayane, it's her name? Obviously, but what am I supposed to do with it now?
I too understand. This is a request to use her given name.
Probably? That's how it sounds to me, too. Muramasa sounds as confused as I am. Strange. I thought that she loathed me. Why would she allow me to use her given name? In any case, best not be rude.
Miss Ichijo Ayane, is it? A lovely name, if I may be so bold.
She's just always mad.
However, it would be discourteous to call you by your given name when we've only just met. If you allow me to address you as Miss Ichijo, I would feel it less of an imposition.
See? He always talks what he thinks. He never keeps any of this in. He just says what he's thinking. That's...
Is something the matter, Miss Ichijo?
Oh. That's my given name! Whoosh. Whoosh.
My apologies, Miss Ayane Ichijo. I am Minato Kageaki of the Kamakura Police Department.
Hey, once again, what Riz? Yeah, you better apologize. Calling me by my name over and over again like we're friends or something. Ah! Ichijo is a first name. Ayane as a last name is kind of insane. Because at least with first names, like, you know, your parents can pick something crazy, right? But to have an insane last name just means that your family has been carrying this burden of a weird last name for generations. Like, of all the things to have made it to the current generation, to the current year, it's your crazy last name. Like, that's insane. Wait. Alright, I got comfy again. Wait. Okay, now we extra comfy. What you want, lady? She just wants us to use her last name. But we thought we were. And she furiously blushes. Miss Ichijo Ayane collects herself. I take a few moments to consider this revelation. This is the danger of entertaining preconceptions. Which also means straight path. She's straight! Dang. No lesbian route, huh? Sorry.
You learn something new every day.
そうね。
Yeah.
この場合、
Though in this case, I don't think we're to
彼
blame
女の名付け
so
親
much
に
as
な
her
るような気
parents
持ち
who
だ
named her. Exactly!
まっすぐに育ってほしいと
They
願い
must have wished her to grow up as straight and true.
Fate works in death, really.
女の子らしさとかは
I think they could have gone with something more appropriate for a girl. By the time Muramasa and I have completed this silent exchange, Miss Ayane has recovered and is glaring at me more fiercely than before. What?
それで
Anyway,
なんでこんな
what
とこに
brings
い
you
るんだ
here,
よ
officer?
おまわり。
公務です
Official business.
I'm still waiting for an answer from her to the same question, but no matter. Her reply is an apathetic
あ
snort.
なたは
And yourself.
公務だよ。
Official business. I considered this perfunctory answer. Official business? A student on official business in the mountains? Of course.
昆虫採集ですか
You must be collecting insects.
No! Oh my gosh, she thinks it's not an elementary school, my dude. That's something only elementary school kids do.
なんでだ。
Why? I remember when it was ladybug season, everybody used to like get their milk cartons and then they would empty out the milk carton during lunchtime, and then when to like lunch recess happened, everyone would fill them up with grass and then go collect as many ladybugs as they could. That was what people did. I didn't like doing that because ladybugs are still kind of freaky. They still like crawl all over and you can't stop them, and they kind of freak me out. Azarez! Good morning, welcome in. I just finished building the HG Zaku! How was that? Did you like it? HG Zaku, the G-Quaxy version. Those are so good. That's awesome. Bugs are cool. I think they're cool to look at. I don't like them crawling on me. I don't like any bug crawling on me. It freaks me out. Like dragonflies are cool, butterflies are cool, moths are cool, spiders are cool. Dude, even wasps are cool. I like looking at all of them. I do not like being within touching range.
カブトムシの幼虫を狙うならそこ
You're
の
looking
腐葉
for
土などに
beetle
適しています
larvae. You will likely find some under the pile of rotting leaves.
違う。
I'm
答
not!
える義理はねえって
I'm
友達
telling
に
you,
言って
it's
ん
none
だ。
of your
わかるよ。
business. Get it?
わかりました
Got it.
Muramasa, though. Is he a bug? Is he a bug? Dude, like, I have a healthy respect for, like, Kamen Rider Kabuto. Do I want to get a touching distance? I'm not sure about that. I have built him. That counts. I suspected as much. Oh, wait, no, he's not talking. I suspected as much, but though thought it prudent to ask, to assume that she was telling the truth, just in case. It seemed such tact was uncalled for.
無作法な詮索をお詫びします
I apologize for the intrusion.
いちいちイライラさせ
You
る
piss
や
me
つだな。
そうですか
Chua,
面目ありません
I'm sorry to hear that.
This
ダ
guy.
メだ。
Hey,
こ
I
っ
asked
ち
you
が
a
先に
question,
聞いた
right?
んだよ。
Then you
何
asked
し
me
て
the
ん
same
のかっ
question.
て。
How the
そ
heck
の
is
後
that
で
an
お前が同じこ
intrusion?
と聞いたからって真面目に答えろとでも
Why
言
didn't
いや
you
いいじ
say
ゃねえ
cut
か。
the crap or something
そ
like
れをあ
that?
っさり頭下げやがって。
Your
恥ずか
tone
し
is
いとは
heavy
思
with
わねえのか
contempt.
よ。
Aren't you ashamed of yourself backing down like that?
思いません
Nothing at all. Or not at all.
Her response renders her speechless for a moment. Why not?
なんでだ。
自分は公僕です
I am a servant of the people.
Well, close enough. You're trying to save everyone.
As such, my activities are to be made public insofar as it does not hinder my mission. That is what it means to have an open government. People, however, are under no obligation to divulge their activities to the police. Should an officer attempt to force that disclosure, that would be a violation of basic human rights.
You tell them, Mr. Kageyaki. Kageyakster?
While I have a duty to answer your question, you are free to reject mine as you please. You have nothing to warrant blame.
As I finish, I realize that it's lucky we're in the middle of a deserted forest. My words could easily be taken as political criticism, but with human rights being far from the top of Nokunana's priorities, if I were to make such a statement on a crowded street, it would be certain to reach the ears of one of the shogunate's spies, which it has seated among the citizenry in an assault on the very privacy I am espousing. I could very well find myself arrested and carted off to Kudaraku Castle, and I wouldn't be the first. Often in such cases, the people who merely listened suffer the same treatment as the person who spoke. Great caution is necessary when discussing politics. Of course, Miss Ayane doesn't appear at all perturbed by the risk. She just looks at me like she swallowed something sour. Doesn't she always look like that? For a guy with no guts, sure can talk.
Thank you very much.
It wasn't a compliment. I'm visiting my grandma. A second passes before I realize that she's answering my question. You mentioned the village nearby. She was born there. And her grave is there. It would have been less of a pain to bury her in Kamakura, but her will said she wanted it here.
I see.
That's pretty acceptable reason, actually. Given that we walked from Kamakura, it's not crazy that she would walk from Kamakura when she can, like, punch a giant dog dead by just hitting it. She can punch a dog dead by hitting it in the throat. That's insane. Soon, no dede yet. They can't immediately give us the dede. We just met her. This is a long VN. You gotta work for the dede. Okay. I has raised a new question, however.
You're on your way to the village from Kamakura.
Oh.
Yeah. I summon a map of the area in my head.
If I'm not mistaken, the forest is on the opposite side of the village from Kamakura.
Oh. Is she lying? Really?
Yes.
At least unless you intend to circumnavigate the globe.
Are you lost, perchance?
No, but she always goes straight. I'm not lost!
You took the bus to Sawaguchi.
Yeah?
There's only one road between there and the village.
I'm stroking your damn chin!
How in the world did you get lost?
I'm not lost!
Then...
Well, you know how it is. Sometimes you get tired of walking, so you just stop to take in the scenery. That happens, right?
あります。
It does.
And then, when you start walking again, you suddenly realize that you have no idea which direction you came from. It happens all the time, right?
ありません。
It does not.
This a-hole! Any grumbles. Fist trembling, making me sound like some kind of freak. In any case, we seem to have gotten to the root of the problem. I can sum it up as concisely as I can.
要するに
You have no sense of direction.
That's just rude.
要するんじゃね
Don't say it like that!
え。いや、
And I do too!
リド、ちょっと。
Vito. Muramasa's voice cuts into the conversation. Not that Ayane can hear it, but I give the Tsurugi my attention.
まずいんじゃない？今この森は危険よ。
Isn't this dangerous?
そこをこんな
She keeps
迷子に
wandering
うろうろされた
around.
ら
なるほど。
See. Point taken.
Muramasa's concern is well-founded. If Ayane stumbles across the prefect in these woods, there's no telling what could happen. He may not kill her, but I doubt he'll let her go on her way. It would be best if she reached the village as quickly as possible.
おい、聞けよ。
You listening? I'm not lost or anything stupid like that. It's just my scientific brain can't cope with the sheer illogic of having a three-dimensional world represented by a two-dimensional map. Her brain is so big, it cannot understand this stupid 2D technology. I get it. It happens, you know? It happens. Sometimes you just can't cope with the world.
病気回復への第一歩は症状を直視することです。
First step to recovery is admitting that you have a problem.
病気？
Are you calling me sick?
あやねさん、
You know which
ここ
way
から
to
ど
go
う進めば
to
村へ
reach
出
the
られる
village.
まっすぐ。
芸術的な回答です。
An artistic
困り果てました。
answer. How profoundly troubling.
お前今。
You're loving this, aren't you?
ここは村から直線距
From
離
here,
約
it
1
is
キロ
about
半ほど
Wah!
方角はこちらが北。
It is about 1.5 kilometers to the village. If you walk in a straight line, this way is north, and if you go that way for 8 kilometers, you will reach Sawaguchi. Well, have you grasped your present location?
と。
She looks around for a bit, stabs a finger in the opposite direction from north.
南極ってこっちだよな。
I think South Pole is that way.
なぜそういちいち芸術的な
Why
の
do
で
you
すか？
insist on being so artistic?
だから何
What
が
the heck does that mean?
わかりました。仕方ありま
I
せん。
suppose I have no choice.
Point to the direction of the village.
この方向へまっすぐ進んでください。
Please
そちら
walk.
に村があります。
Please walk straight in this direction. You'll soon reach the village.
おう。
Got it.
良いですか？
Whatever you
必ず
do, proceed in a perfectly straight line. Understand?
わかったよ。
Alright.
木を避けるときには曲がるけど
I'll。have to walk
それはいい
around
んだろ。
trees. Is that fine with you?
ダメです。
No.
ダメ？
No?
あなたのように芸術的
Even
な
that
方はきっとそれだけで迷
Will
う。
doubtlessly make someone as artistic as yourself veer off course.
It's artistic in both.
その芸術的ってのやめろ。じゃ
Stop
あ、
saying
どうし
that
ろってんだよ。
already. Although Japanese is Geijutsu Teki, so... So, what the hell am I supposed to
できる
do?
か？
If possible, leap over them.
できるか？
Like I can!
では、
and take a more aggressive approach and destroy everything in your path.
Do I look like a bear? And deforestation is enough of a problem already. I just need to go straight. That way. So I'm not gonna get lost.
That way is 30 degrees from the correct heading. Your claim lacks persuasiveness.
That was a little off.
You will fail.
Hey, okay, show her back. Don't say it. Don't say it one word at a time. Enough. I'm out of here. Thanks, I guess, for showing me which way to go.
You're welcome, but please focus on walking straight. You're already deviating from the correct heading.
Right.
Keep going in that direction. Kick that tree down.
Shut up!
Back from time to time. Make sure that I'm still directly behind you. That should make it easier.
No way!
Your opinion.
As Muramasa once Ana's uniform has become a distant blur through the trees. Whether she'll make it to the village?
Yes.
I think so. Sometime tomorrow, maybe. As best as I can tell from here, her deviation is already nearing 45 degrees. She's done for. I think we might actually pause here for today. Because I am eepy. And I did not get to drink water beforehand. I need to go buy more water! My throat is quite popped. Ichijo is such a bug. She's so good! The characters are all really fun in this, which is great. But yeah, that's a classic. That's a very good first interaction. Like, everything that could go wrong went wrong there. That stopping point, honestly, yeah, we got very into the second chapter. It feels like we've met at least, if not all, at least most of the characters. We got 2 selections. Save on both screens, Dornians. Ah! Now we go to the title menu because it's cool. Muramasa. Now everybody say goodbye. Say goodbye to Muramasa. Bye. See you next week, Muramasa. And thank you for stopping by, Dornians, and hanging out with me and reading Muramasa and seeing what hilarious hijinks he's getting up to. For a second I was like, why do I hear music? It's because I still have Muramasa going. Thanks for the stream. It's only as fun because you guys are here to read it with me. I could just blast through it, but then where's the fun? Then I can't. Then I don't get to, like, you know, I don't get to experience all of the plot twists and all of the character interactions and be like, lol. And you guys can be like, lol. That's the fun stuff. That's the fun stuff. But let's see. What do we got? Tomorrow, or yeah, okay, it's tomorrow for me. Tomorrow, we've got in Discord we're watching Dot Hack Shine. Episodes up to 12. I think it's 9 through 12. In Discord, and then immediately after that, we're playing Dot Hack Infection for the first time, so that'll be fun. And then we've got Super Robot Wars as well. Not tomorrow, the day after. So, got lots of fun times ahead. Over on Discord and Twitch is where those will be happening. So, friends, until next time, wherever it may be, whenever it may be, ever it may be, until then, let's gimme.